WrestleMania 2, April 7th, 1986. We had the event in not one place, but three different places: the Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum in New York, the Rosemont Horizon in Chicago, and then the Los Angeles Memorial Sports Arena in Los Angeles, California, which is crazy. Three different venues, one night. Attendance combined was 40,085 people. Phew, crazy. Over three events. All right, Cameron, let's start this out.
All right, this is what the world has come to. WrestleMania 2. Also, it's the premier sporting event of the year.
What the world has come. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
because we dropped WrestleVision, the world didn't come to that.
and I love like the two stuff, WrestleMania 2, what has the world come to? It's just like, what are we doing here?
Well, we're getting ready for a global phenomenon to start growing.
Yep, if
The
that's what
seed
you want to
has
call
been planted, and this shit is spreading.
it. But yeah, I mean WrestleMania 2, uh, it's held what, a year after WrestleMania 1, almost a year after, which is
Yeah, more or
crazy.
less. I don't remember exactly when the first one was. The
Mhm.
first one was March 31st of 1985, and this is April 7th of 86. So more or less, like, or it's pretty much around the same time, give or take a week.
Crazy, crazy. And guess what? They didn't learn a damn thing.
No, no. I am very glad though that we had the wrestling classic between WrestleMania 1 and WrestleMania 2 because nothing like watching 15 really shitty finishes get you ready for WrestleMania 2.
Did it have more matches than 15, I wonder? I don't remember. We'll have
No,
to
no,
count
no.
them.
I think we only had like 12 because each venue had 4 matches,
Mm,
but
that's
it
right.
was longer than the wrestling classic. But god damn, was the wrestling much better. But we'll get there.
It was yeah, WrestleMania 2, just a hair over 3 hours long.
Yeah,
Uh but yeah, let's start it out. I don't think there was a video package that started out, was there?
there was just a little WrestleMania 2, and I think it dubbed over the little. I think it I think they dubbed over that with some other classic 80s sounding music.
Yeah, yeah. But it opened up with Vince McMahon. We start out in New York
Yep.
of the
With
three
Susan
venues.
St. James.
Yeah. And Vince McMahon, he also brings out to sing "America the Beautiful."
Yep, not the national anthem this time.
Nope, Mr. Ray Charles.
Ray Charles.
Let's get
Hey,
some.
I had a note here.
Okay.
How many bad Super Bowls do you think Ray Charles has seen?
Oh, that's rough. That's rough. That's so bad. That's so bad. Oh, no way you said that. That's great. That's great. Oh my god. Oh my god. Wait, real quick. Did you know that Susan was part of a TV show called Kate and Allie?
I had no idea. I didn't know anything about any celebrity that was involved in this show other than like Ray Charles and Ozzy Osbourne.
She was in it.
I re-
She was in the wrestling classic. So this time I decided to look
yeah,
her up,
yeah.
and she was in
Yeah,
a
so
TV
that was
show,
the
Kate and Allie.
Susan, right? Like this was the same Susan
Same
that
Susan. Yep.
Mean Gene was creeping on all night before she finally just kissed him.
Alfred Hayes. Alfred Hayes.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Alfred Hayes was doing it. Yeah, sorry, Mean Gene.
And he'd
My
probably be doing the
bad.
same thing. Let's be honest. Let's be honest.
Maybe.
uh, no, yeah, but was that not one of the weirdest video packages that they put behind whenever Ray
It
Charles was
really
singing?
was. Yeah,
Um,
after you fight through the constant mic feedback and the crowd participating about as much as they did during the Rolls Royce giveaway. I
dude, if we got $1 for every time a mic messed up, or a
yeah,
man was mansplaining wrestling to a woman, or if
yeah.
they announced that a woman has found the beef, we would be rich.
Yeah, yeah. We would never have to start a Patreon ever.
Nope. We wouldn't have to do anything else. Like
If we
honestly,
had all
this is
that money,
crazy.
maybe I could afford a jacket as cool as Ray Charles's because that jacket was awesome.
um,
I think I love this is my favorite part of the entire America video package is all the shots of what it gives you to signify America, where it shows like the typical like bald eagle shit and random shots of soldiers or like police officers, firefighters, but it ends on this long still of Hulk Hogan.
yeah, I had that down. I was like, the ending for the video package was just Hulk Hogan.
There's nothing more American than Hulk Hogan, especially at WrestleMania.
Yeah, and then,
And goddamn, was the spirit of America flowing through his veins tonight.
dude, I was ready to do anything for America right after that.
Yeah, I was ready to do the fucking like was it hyper chin or whatever the fuck it's gonna be.
uh, but Roddy Piper, we cut to him. He
Oh
makes one of
my
the
god!
weirdest promos of
Oh
all
my
time.
god! I was so excited to see Piper, and Piper looked like he was fucking concussed all night. Like, this dude was cutting the weirdest promos. I cut my hair so people could tell us apart. What?
It was so weird. Uh,
Because people have been confusing Roddy Piper and Mr. T on the street.
and also he was like, he was saying the stuff about, yeah, his hair and having to paint himself to look like an Indian and stuff.
He,
And
he says something and like, Bob Orton breaks and like laughs behind him, but he's hiding behind Piper's head, so the camera doesn't see it.
it was so awkward. And
It really was.
his voice, uh,
Yeah, it didn't sound like Piper to me. Like that's what I was saying. He sounded like he was concussed.
yeah,
Like he sounded like he
the whole
didn't know
night
where
he
he
sounded
was.
like that. Yeah, ugh, it was rough. Um, but yeah, so we start out. We have that the magnificent Don Morocco with Mr. Fuji again,
Yep.
versus Paul Orndorff.
I am so excited when I see that this is the first match I get.
Hmm.
So excited.
But what's funny is though the match starts and they're literally playing the audio for the promos that they had
Yeah,
during the
their
beginning of the
interviews
match.
or
You
in the
can't see it.
beginning. Yeah, I actually put a note here. This like they do this at the beginning during their like all their lockups and stuff. Like so nothing like overly important's happening while you still hear this.
Right.
But the timing on it was like too perfect. It was almost like the ref was told when the things were done playing, so he could lean in and be like, "All right, guys, go ahead and wrestle." Like, the
Yeah.
timing on that was so perfect.
Yeah, and I mean, but that was just so weird though. It's like, yeah, this was filmed earlier, the promos, whatever. Here's the audio for it. Yeah, and it's just like
Yeah.
we're just gonna listen to what they said, and that's it.
Uh,
They were they were
Susan
going
on
way too
commentary,
fast.
man.
Oh, Susan on commentary with Vince.
Yeah, yeah. At some point, she refers to like Orndorff keeping him in. I think it was like an armbar or something or like a top wrist. It's some kind of submission move, and Susan refers to it as an ancient Chinese technique, and I just kind of like cringed
Yeah,
at
she was
that.
saying Mr. Fuji was teaching him that or something. Yeah, yeah. That's so weird. I do have to
Also, Vince
point out one
McMahon's.
thing.
Oh, sorry,
Uh,
good.
the ring in New York, very stable. I feel like that ring was working well. Because when we go
Yeah,
to Chicago and LA, the rings were terrible.
one of them looked like just very soft and wonderful to bump on. That must have been so great for those guys. Vince McMahon saying into the competition, "Well, it's not a physique contest." That's kind of really hilarious to hear Vince McMahon's voice say that. This entire show is full of physiques.
What's great is like the things that he's trying to act like the good guy, like
Yeah,
non-misogynistic Vince, but behind the
yeah.
scenes,
Because
he's like the worst
his
person in the world.
he's having all of his other fucking commentators and announcers be the creep for him.
Jeez. Oh god. What a weirdo, bro. Uh no, but literally like what the fuck was this first match?
I
It
was
was
so excited to see it go, and then it had the same fucking finish as Orndorff and Tito Santana from the Wrestling Classic.
yeah, literally two back-to-back pay-per-views that we've seen of Paul Orndorff has been by double count out. Like what the hell?
Same way too. They go over. They go out together and they start fighting outside. He's just too hot headed. That Paul Orndorff, man. Like the match was looking kind of cool, and then they decided we're not doing it. Orndorff looked pissed, so that was pretty cool. Crowds chanting bullshit. This is the opener for WrestleMania 2, man.
Yeah,
The
this
opener.
yeah, the attention grabber. They really want you to keep watching. No, but I mean it really did set the tone because it's like what the hell? Why aren't we still doing these matches at these big pay-per-view events and you want it to be like double disqualification or double count out or like we're just going to reverse a call or something and it's just like why the hell are we doing this? Like get me a good finish.
Yeah. Uh, because it's Mania. Like, who gives a fuck? Like in hindsight, right now, I can't go back and look at. I mean, I can. I'm not. I'm not going back to look at like Saturday Night Lives and pulling up Paul Orndorff or Don Morocco's win loss record to be like, aha, this asshole lost at WrestleMania 2. No one gives a fuck. I just wanted to see good wrestling, and like right out of the jump, we're back to stupid fucking finishes.
Yeah, it was awful.
We
It
don't
was so
even
bad.
get the official decision for this match before they cut to a Mr. T promo. Which, holy shit. I loved this.
Yeah, so yeah, because I know right before as they're trying to cut to the Mr. T thing, Miss McMahon is trying to see like what the decision is, and then all of a sudden he's just like, hold up, let's see what we got here or whatever, and then all of a sudden Mr. T starts talking.
Yeah, I've been training hard. Be getting ready for this boxing match.
Yeah, and literally
Mr.
during
T.
his audio, they're going, the bout was decided by double count out while he's
Yeah,
talking too, and it's like, what the
yeah,
fuck
why?
are we doing here?
So you can't understand either of them.
It was so bad. It was so bad. No, but what'd you say about Mr. T's promo? I'm sorry about that.
I just thought it was funny. Like it's just everything I expected out of a Mr. T promo. It literally felt like the old 1-800 collect or call ATT promos or commercials he used to do. It just felt like that, but he's gonna box after it. It was awesome. It was Mr. T doing exactly what I thought Mr. T did. But I was I really wanted to see a good match between Paul Orndorff and Don Morocco. I was really let down by this being the first match. Dave Meltzer was too when he gave this a rating of a dud.
Dude, I want to see. I actually know YouTube like Don Morocco after because he looks so cool. I want to see some of like, his best matches.
Paul Orndorff too. They're not really giving me too much of that guy that I'm really enjoying.
I hope every pay per view though is just Paul Orndorff count out. That would be so funny.
Yeah.
They just hate this guy, bro.
every show is just him getting a count out, no or a double count out, or getting fucked over somehow, just not being able to have a good match. He wants to
Jeez.
wrestle so bad.
But yeah, literally as Mr. T's promo is ending, we immediately go into the next match. It's like nothing. Uh, we got George the Animal Steel.
How'd you feel about the first appearance, or not just the fact that you were about to get the first George the Animal Steel appearance on
Dude,
our
I
show
think
here? How are
he's.
you? How are you looking at him? How are you feeling?
I thought he was way more popular, so I was gonna think he was gonna get like an entrance too. But man, George is cool. He's crazy,
Yeah,
but he's awesome.
I thought he was quite enjoyable here.
Yeah. And then of course, Macho Man definitely will get an entrance. Him and
Yeah,
Elizabeth looking great as always. Elizabeth, I'm in love with you. So just to put that out there.
she's in the front this time.
Yep. Also, I love how this is so 80s and there's not a lot of rules of like stages and venues and stuff where they still have to have like 14 police officers take them from the back to the to the
Yeah,
ring.
yeah.
Like
They
Jesus
they
Christ, we got to
definitely
fix it.
definitely have to. There are people like actively trying to reach for most of the people coming out, like when during their entrance, there's just fans you can see reaching as hard as they can through this cloud of police officers and shit. That's probably why there's not really that many entrances. Someone will get fucking stabbed by a fan. Or they're all gonna be them awkwardly stumbling through a crowd of police officers to get to the ring.
Dude,
Just
especially
when,
when Hogan's out there. Oh my God.
oh yeah, yeah, you get a nice little we get we get our first look at the nice new Intercontinental Championship.
Yep. Macho Man now the Intercontinental Champion. Who was
Hell
it?
yeah. It was Tito
Oh,
Santana
Tito
last year.
Santana. Yeah.
Yeah, he won it from Greg Valentine, who had it for WrestleMania 1. And
Yep.
now we're here with Randy Savage as
Social
Intercontinental Champion.
justice, social justice warrior Tito Santana.
Yeah, so, and that meant Savage had to beat him clean, because if he didn't, Tito would have thrown a fucking fit.
Yeah, they would have to restart that match 3 or 4 times
Yeah,
to make sure it's true.
until it's done the right way.
Um, no, but a little bit of what I liked about this match, just like you mentioned, it was George versus Randy for the IC championship. Um, every time George catches Macho Man, he just results into biting him. He caught him on
Yeah,
the apron, started biting his leg. He
well,
caught
he's
him
an
in the
animal.
ring, started biting his arm. It was great.
George Steele, I don't know if you can tell, he is in love with Elizabeth. I don't know if you caught that story detail, but
Yes, I
George
do.
Steele is
After
heavily just enamored with Elizabeth.
after we get done with this match, I do have something to add on to that. So
Oh, okay,
yeah.
awesome, awesome.
George used a bouquet of flowers
Yeah, he just beats the shit out of him
to
with
attack.
flowers.
Dude, and I don't know if you want to add any more, but
I got some stuff to add.
Macho Man's top rope elbow drop is pure. It is so good. Oh
Yeah,
my God.
he also crossbodied literally all the way across the ring at one point. Like, he fucking soared through the sky to land on George Steele.
Dude, I gotta admit, if I was born in the '80s watching this, I'd probably be the biggest Macho Man fan of all time. He is so cool.
I really like this.
Yeah, I love heels, man. I mean, they're awesome.
Just in general, this I really like this match. It wasn't anything like spectacular. It wasn't Dynamite Kid, Randy Savage, but I still thought it was like pretty good given the people involved in the story they told. I thought it was awesome
hmm And then you
because
got
no
George
good.
ripping the
Yep,
turnbuckle open with
the
his
your signature George Steele biting the turnbuckle. This ring was a fucking mess.
what's in
This
those turnbuckles? It's like some kind of like I was gonna say like packing peanuts or something.
Yeah, well, right there was some kind of like some kind of foam padding or something. I'm not sure if that's what they still have inside them. Obviously, the turnbuckles are a lot different than the ones you'd see now. The turnbuckle padding, sorry, is a lot different than what you'd see now, I guess. But I don't know. No one's bitten the turnbuckle open in a while, so we
All
haven't
right,
seen
next
what's inside
Friday.
them. Yeah,
Next
I'm gonna do
Friday, I
it.
gotta see you do
I got you. I'll do it.
it. And now you guys have to pay for a turnbuckle.
So, one of the things I really enjoyed about this match is Savage. Every time Steele just gets the better of him, he just goes outside and runs toward Elizabeth. So George Steele becomes distracted again, and then he goes and gets the jump on him, and then it doesn't work, and then he runs away and he goes to hide behind Elizabeth, so he's distracted, and he tries something else to get the jump on him, and it doesn't work, and he does this 4 times until he finally finds something that keeps him down, or finally gets his stupid little leverage pin in the corner, because it is still WWF in 1980s, so we're not gonna get a clean finish. But I was okay with what we had here, given the circumstances. They don't want George Steele, the animal, to be like left laying. They still want the mystique of him being the animal. So you don't really want to leave him laying and pinning him. So you do this little bullshit. He had Savage on the run. He embarrassed him a few times. He beat the shit out of him, and maybe one day he'll win over the heart of Elizabeth. Maybe.
Uh, yeah, real quick, I love how even 8 months after the Wrestling Classic, or it's probably less, but we're still getting
Yeah, it was November, so it was like 3 months or so, give or take.
yeah, we're still getting Macho Man using Elizabeth and telling her where to go and hiding
Yeah.
behind her in the face of danger. But what I wanted to add on earlier, this match, it's basically kind of like Beauty and the Beast, but the bad ending comes true. Uh, George, of course, as the Beast, Elizabeth
uh,
as Belle, and Macho Man as Gaston. Macho Man slays the Beast and wins Elizabeth's heart, and the
yep.
Beast is just sad forever.
And now all of her friends have to stay as silverware or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, literally, like the Beast, he's eating everything. The
Yeah.
turnbuckle. I mean, works
Yeah,
out.
he really is. He's trying to bring her flowers.
It would have been funny if he like eat the flowers in front of her. That'd have been great.
Yeah, or like brought her. He goes under the ring and brings out like a dead squirrel or something he caught out in the woods and tries to give it to Miss Elizabeth. I'm sorry, I thought you'd like it.
Yeah, but he's holding it in his mouth, and he like puts it down in front of her. George the Animal, great, great guy. I bet he was like a wonderful person.
He was a school teacher, I believe.
What? Really? That's awesome.
Yeah, so like he does this, and then during the week he's teaching school.
Jeez.
These two would actually continue to feud for the title for a little while into early '87. So they'll be more than less wrapping up around the time we get to WrestleMania 3, but they won't be wrestling on WrestleMania 3, obviously.
Georgie doesn't win the title ever.
No, George Steele unfortunately never goes on to win the Intercontinental Championship.
Damn it. He deserves
Yeah,
it though.
so now this is two people that you've really wanted to see win this title that won't get to. Because man, Junkyard Dog, that pop would have been insane had he won the Intercontinental title from Greg
Dude, would
Valentine
it?
that
Oh
night.
my god. Oh my god. JYD, I'm on my Mount Rushmore of 80s wrestlers, JYD number 1.
Yeah, he's
I love the Junkyard Dog. He's so cool. He is so,
he
I
has a
don't
great
care.
match on
Yeah.
this show.
He does. He does. Um so after the match, of course, like you mentioned earlier, Macho Man wins by putting his feet up on the turnbuckle and one, two,
Yeah,
three, cheating Macho
not my
Man.
favorite. I feel like they're just recycling every finish from Wrestling Classic, but like I said, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it here.
Yeah. I
At
mean,
least
yeah,
it was a heel winning in a heel fashion.
that's two in a row though. Yeah. Two exact same finishes that we just saw.
Well, it's okay because the next match won't have a finish like that.
Yeah. But before it, we get a
Oh
random
God, yeah,
Bill Fralick because
yeah.
in the NFL
I
and
just wrote Gene with Bill Fralick from Sports Ball.
I'm pretty sure it's that he played for the Atlanta Falcons is what they said. And
Yeah, I think that's what they said. And Big John Stud's
Big
back,
John
man.
Stud, let's go. What a
He's
stud.
hey, he's still here. He has a
Uh,
great line here about Bill Fralick where he says he has no class. He's a football player.
and isn't that weird? How they were like, we're gonna put a 20-man battle royal, but what was it?
Six football
6 of them
players.
are gonna be in the NFL. Like, what the
Yeah.
hell are we talking about?
What
What are
the
we
fuck are
doing?
they trying? What the fuck? If they
Uh,
did it this year, if they did it like in this time period, it would be the WWE versus like YouTuber battle royal. So like you'd get like that would have been where Logan Paul came
Logan
from
Paul
or
would have
some
came
shit. That would
in,
have been
yeah.
how he that'd have been how he got his contract initially. And Mr. Beast would have been there, and then you get like fucking I don't know who other famous YouTubers. You get fucking Markiplier.
Every guy who's come out to help Logan Paul win in
Yeah.
his matches. Dude, that's smart.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, yeah. Everyone that's ever like
been in the
stood
prime
in the
bottle.
prime bottle, yeah.
Dude, you have an idea there, and when WrestleMania 41 steals that shit, we're gonna
Yeah.
fucking sue him.
I picked 6 YouTubers to go to WrestleMania with me and compete in a battle royal against 14 WWE superstars.
um, but yeah, so so next match, we get our first look at Jake the
Yeah,
Snake
and
and
Jake
George
Roberts.
Wells.
Before we do this, I really also cringed at beforehand of Vince asking Susan, "Do you like snakes?" And she's like, "Hey, not fucking really, you creepy bastard." But all right. And then it's like, well, too bad, because here comes Jake Roberts.
I was looking up a little bit about because like I feel like Jake Roberts is like a well known like I think a lot more like casual people would know him,
Yes,
but he never
absolutely.
won like a world title or anything.
I don't think he did in WWE. I feel like, let's
Yeah, it
see.
was more out.
Yeah, he probably did in like other promotions here. I'm trying to see the championship and accomplishments and all that shit in his fucking on his page here. Hold on, we got Mid South. Nah. Nah, nothing that big here.
It's crazy too because like I'm pretty sure it said he was inducted in the WWE Hall of Fame 2014 or something. But
Yeah.
I mean, crazy though. Like yeah, like I said, a lot of more casual people I think would know him. So I'm surprised he never got like a U.S. title or an IC title like
Yeah, I
short
was about to
term.
say for sure he had at least won like a television title in NWA or some shit. He had the NWA World Television Championship, but in the Georgia version, whatever the fuck that means. Okay,
Yeah.
but like that's really it. But yeah, I'd always just assumed that Jake Roberts was that just had won a bunch of championships, like won a lot of major titles. I guess he hadn't.
Hmm.
Kind of goes to show you that maybe they don't matter as much as people think they do, because we still know, excuse me, exactly who Jake Roberts is. He's legendary. He's timeless,
Yeah.
and he did so without winning any major championships. That's pretty cool.
Also, what they mentioned during this match, he has not lost a match yet since joining WWF.
All right, cool.
Yeah. And I,
Well, yeah, because finishes don't fucking happen. So, of course he has it.
yeah, when every other match you have results in disqualification and count out because people are running away from your snake in your bag.
Yeah.
Did you have anything on the match though? I didn't really didn't take too many notes.
Let's
I was
see.
just
I
it.
I thought I thought George Wells looked okay,
Mhm.
given the fact that he was basically there to get beaten with a snake. He probably got this spot being one of a few people that were okay with letting this dude, like, I don't know what the fuck he did. Where he covers him with the snake and then like jumps on the snake and starts like wrestling around with it. Like
Yeah, what the
I
fuck
was,
was happening at
that's
the
what I
end?
said. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, where the fuck is PETA? Like,
And
was
he
this
was
okay
foaming
then?
from the mouth. George Wells was
Yeah,
foaming,
I feel like
and
that was an easy. Like he could have just like slipped him an aspirin or something when he was doing the whole snake bit. But
yeah.
fuck snakes though. I did write that as my note. I thought Wells looked pretty good.
Another former football player.
Oh, okay. So, but he's not in the Battle Royal though, man. He's in the wrong city.
Wrong city. Yeah. Gotta get
The
his ass to
DDT
Chicago.
looked great. DDT looked awesome. It was
Yeah.
really all Jake did, other than a few punches. But at the same time, it was really all he needed to do because he's the DDT and the snake guy.
Hmm.
Try and go ahead and name a Jake Roberts move. It'll take me all day if I can't say snake or DDT.
Yeah, I was about to say snake DDT. Is that the move?
I guess so. I mean, I'm sure it was given. This was given 2 stars.
What? Really?
Yeah, Savage and Steel only got one. You're not gonna
Man,
fucking believe what the boxing match gets.
I
Oh wait,
def
no, never mind, never mind, never mind, never mind,
I definitely
never mind.
thought
I read it wrong. I read it wrong. But go
the
ahead, go
George
keep going.
Steele one was way better in this match. That's crazy.
I
Okay, too.
definitely thought that. I didn't. I would never have said this was a whole star above George Steele and Randy Savage. I said a whole star less, honestly. But like, I didn't hate this. I didn't think it was bad at all. It just wasn't exciting. I was
Hmm.
just waiting for the jobber to finally get DDT'd and have a snake. I thought he was gonna throw the snake at him, uh, not throw the snake on him and jump on both of them.
So I would assume like he had to go through. I don't know if he was a snake wrangler or like there's hours of training or whatever, but
I'd
The
like
way
to think
that
so, but
snake,
it is the 80s.
yeah, it's probably like here's a bag of snakes, throw one on him. But
Yeah,
the way he like maneuvers and just jumps on him with the snake, it's like, dude, that's a fucking python. Like it would kill you both in a second. What the fuck are we doing?
yeah, I'm sure the snake has been like either maybe de- like somehow domesticated or some shit. Probably in a way that might be inhumane. I put in here that I hope everything is like by the book and okay on this snake. Like I hope there's no animal cruelty going on here. Because you'll see in future shows the snake he starts to use gets fucking massive.
Really?
Yeah, but this snake he had in here wasn't small by any means. But by the time we get to like the Damien snake or whatever, that thing is huge.
That's the name. I knew he had a name for his the snake in the bag.
Yeah, I think this one was just the snake because he was specifically referred to as Jake the Snake and his friend the Snake.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Susan was not a fan. She hated this.
Yeah.
But to be fair, she really wasn't having a good time anyway.
Yeah, if it went, I mean, she was just getting cut off by Mr. McMahon. She doesn't really have an idea what's going on, and Mr. McMahon was just mansplaining things to her the whole time.
Yeah,
So,
and then making just constantly overusing the word snake in a way it's just again knowing the shit we know about this dude now, it makes me cringe. It just makes me
yeah, I
cringe.
mean, and yeah, and that was in what,
You like
86?
snakes, Susan?
I was in
Like, no.
86, and we're in 2024, and we finally got him. It's
Yeah.
like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Susan, it's okay now. It's okay. There's no telling what she went through.
Yeah,
I
tell
hope you're
all.
okay, Susan. I hope you're okay.
But yeah, so Jake the Snake wins, of course, by pinfall. And then we cut to a video package on why Mr. T and Roddy Piper hate each other and why they're gonna fight in a boxing match.
Yep.
It
They
basically
just hate
just
each other.
is. I don't know if Mr. T. I think he just got done with a boxing event and they were still in the ring or whatever. And
Yeah, I don't know what happened here.
they
I
showed
just
that some random like main event, Saturday event or whatever it's called.
yes, Saturday Night Main Event.
And Mr.
Piper
T.
challenged him to a fight.
Yeah, and Mr. T had his gloves on and everything, and Roddy was like throwing his fake jabs and stuff. He's like, "You see this shit? You see this shit? I'm gonna knock your ass out."
And then Orton jumps him.
Yep. Yeah, that was basically it on that.
Yeah, that's the
Um,
story to this match that I thought was built off of last year's WrestleMania. But
maybe a little
apparently
bit. It's
yeah,
like
apparently it's
10%.
yeah, it's grown a little since then. I'm trying to see. It's like damn it. I feel awkward every time this happens. I'm like reading the storyline little tidbit here. Mr. T became a special WWF boxer and began competing in boxing matches. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Piper and others in the locker room disliked Mr. T because he was an actor and had no prior wrestler training. So in response, Mr. T began competing in boxing matches. On March 1st, Mr. T defeated Orton in a boxing match, and then that's when they attacked him and beat his ass down.
Okay,
So
so it was
there
right
you
after
go.
that. It was right after
Yeah,
that.
all right.
Okay.
So my weird awkward pause was for was for something. It wasn't in vain. I
No, that's
got us
good
there.
though. Yeah.
We're now educated, Landon. I should have done this before I watched though.
But after that, we cut to another video package of Jesse
We
Ventura
sure do.
interviewing Hulk Hogan. A lot of pent up weird sexual tension between the two. Uh,
I was gonna point out that I kind of like the banter between them, where Ventura's like, I mean, what are you gonna do, having to, you know, go in with your busted ass fucking ribs and letting down the Hulkamaniacs when like Bundy crushes you, and he's like, well, you know something, asshole. I'm not so much worried about the fact that I'm fucking busted up, dude. I got the power of politics on my side, fucker.
they're not friends anymore, right? Or no?
Who? No,
Were they ever
Ventura is.
friends?
I don't think so. Ventura is like
Uh,
all on heel. I'm pretty sure.
Right?
Ventura is
With
a
Macho
Randy
Man.
Savage fan.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he didn't get to be in the same arena. He didn't get to be in the same building.
Yeah,
What a
bullshit.
shame.
Yeah, for
I
real.
can't believe they split up Ventura and Monsoon.
Yeah, yep. Every wait, did every place have a female commentator?
Yeah, because one had Elvira and then one had some other woman that I don't
Yeah, and
remember.
then Susan. Yeah, Elvira was
Yeah,
with Alfred Hayes and
dude, I can't wait to get to Elvira.
yeah, no, yeah,
She
for
was
real.
my favorite woman commentator all night.
Yeah, and she really didn't know what the fuck was going on.
She had no clue.
uh, but yeah, so we cut to um we cut to the ring and they
Yeah,
introduced Joan Rivers
Joan Rivers.
is there as guest ring announcer. Is Joan Rivers the new number one most famous, or is Cyndi
I,
Lauper still number one?
you know, I don't know, because I still feel awkward in like not knowing who some of these people are. I don't know. I don't know. I know Joan Rivers was like an actress or something, but like, I don't know what she's known for. I remember her roast on Comedy Central.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she was on Johnny Carson a lot. She was in Shrek 2.
Oh, okay.
She had the Joan Rivers show. She was in Spaceballs.
He was in
Um,
Spaceballs. Okay.
let's see what else. Really something big. She was in a show called Joan Rivers Can We Talk? Question mark. Uh,
I'm looking at her list of like work, and I don't see like anything that I recognize.
Iron Man 3, The Smurfs. Man, shout out Joan Rivers. But you
Yeah,
know what? I'm gonna veto it. Cyndi Lauper still number one.
I would say just because I can point out what Cyndi Lauper does.
Yeah, true.
Well, it
Uh,
doesn't matter because she is introducing a fucking cavalcade of guest officials.
yeah. So we get guest judges number one, Daryl Dawkins. He's in the NBA or
Yeah,
sports
I put
ball.
sports ball guy as a judge. Crowd again does not care. This guy was fucking tall,
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
especially when he stood next to Joan Rivers.
And then the next judge is Cab Calloway.
I don't know who the fuck that is.
Me either. I was like, oh, cool, Cab Calloway. I love that guy. Uh, Daryl Dawkins, not or by the way, 6'11",
Okay.
Chocolate Thunder. Great
I
nickname.
also I also don't know who G. Gordon Liddy is.
Yeah, G. Gordon Liddy. Who the hell? And why the G? I don't understand that at all.
I don't know.
Cab Calloway, American jazz singer and band leader.
Oh, okay. So they're pulling out all the stops.
Yeah, and I mean they gotta hit every market. They got Joe
Yeah.
Rivers, they got a sports guy, they got a musician guy, and G. Gordon Liddy.
Uh huh.
He's a lecturer, actor, writer, host of a radio program with over 10 million listeners
Oh, okay.
in the
Okay.
80s.
All right. Well, who the fuck is Herb?
Yeah. Yeah, she's like the one person that I want to really meet.
He was in.
Herb.
Oh, where's Herb? He was in an advertisement campaign for Burger King. Okay.
Really?
Herb was okay. The television commercials featured a fictional character named Herb who was described as never having eaten a Whopper.
What the
Okay.
fuck?
I, I know.
Oh yeah, it ran from 1985 to 1986.
So it was a Burger King mascot. This was the king before they were like, "Hey, let's come up with someone as creepy as the king." They go, "Hey, let's make someone really creepy like Herb."
Looks like the dude from Honey I Shrunk the Kids.
I loved his little like dance. He climbs over so awkwardly
Yeah.
to hug Joan, and then does this weird fucking dance back to wherever the fuck he's going to keep time, I suppose, because that's what he's brought here to do. I want to know how these people did. Like your guest timekeeper and guest like bell ringers and shit. You never hear him like, oh man, he kept time so well. It
Yeah,
was
yeah,
great.
or he rang the bell
Yeah, dude.
I mean, that's it. We only see this beginning part, and then we never talk about him ever again.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I got some sad news.
Okay.
Herb's real name, John Minnick.
Yeah. I saw his name and I was gonna try and keep the magic alive, but
And I got some other bad news.
oh no.
Rest in peace.
Herb.
Yep,
Oh no. But yeah, I
2022.
hope he got a Whopper. I hope he at least got a Whopper before he passed on.
Sad to see. Sad to hear that John Minnick, who played Herb the Nerd for Burger King, has passed away.
Yeah. R.I.P. buddy. Rest in patties.
Oh God. But at this point, after Herb got in and got out, I thought, what the fuck am I watching? What is this pay per view?
Oh, this is WrestleMania 2, brother. This is what the world's come to.
uh,
This
but
is what my fucking life has come to.
but finally, we get the main event of location number 1 in New York. We
Yes,
have
and what a main event these people got.
Roddy Piper versus Mr. T, 10 rounds of boxing. If
Imagine.
Yeah. The stipulations are if you get knocked down 3 times, whoever knocks him down wins. And Roddy also said that if Mr. T were to knock him down or knock him out cleanly, that he will quit professional wrestling forever and boxing.
Yep, he said that. He did say that. I noticed it gets so much more awkward because like while Piper's entering, Joan Rivers is still just shouting name after name after name, but the commentary is like still kind of talking. You can't really hear what's happening. And then before they even announce Piper, Mr. T's already on camera walking to the ring. Crowd is
Yeah.
also not really enjoying the fact that this is taking so long and this is what we're getting. And I feel like this segment would probably die a terrible death if it was done on today's like uh we just did a boxing match on a pro sale show not long ago
Yeah.
and I feel like we did it a little better.
The punches, you have to have done it better. This
Well,
was awful.
we had a guy from Redneck Brawl.
Was it your favorite guy?
Is Man Bear Pig, buddy. Shout out Man Bear Pig.
God, he's
He'll
so
actually
cool.
be at Pro South this Friday as special guest enforcer for the championship match.
Okay, awesome.
Cheap plug there. But Mr. T and Roddy Piper, neither of them are redneck brawlers. Neither of them are even rednecks.
No. Yeah. One's from Scotland and one's part of the A team. Sorry, I don't know where
Yeah,
Mr. T's
yeah.
from, but
He's from T Town or something. I don't fucking know.
but yeah, no. God. What's cool though is that Lou Duva is Piper's coach as well as Joe Frazier is Mr. T's coach. Joe Frazier being there is pretty cool.
Yeah,
But they don't. I
they
mean,
don't make a big deal of that at all.
they don't. I mean, it's really Joe Frazier.
At back-to-back manias, they had like two of the most famous boxers in history, and really did jack nor shit with either of them.
Yeah, it's very sad.
Like Muhammad Ali just stood outside the main event of the first WrestleMania
And yeah, he
just
got in the
because
ring
we had
once.
some money to spend.
Yeah, which is crazy. I just feel like they could- man, I don't know, it just makes me so mad. I don't know what we're doing. Who's writing this shit? I'm so mad.
It's
I
the
could
guy asking fucking Susan if she likes snakes, dude.
I cannot believe this place.
I, I was I was about to ask you how would you feel about the concept of a boxing match being in your WrestleMania 2 here? How do you feel about this? Is any part of you interested to see Roddy Piper box? And then is any part of you interested to see Roddy Piper boxing Mr. T?
No, let's get an actual boxer. Let
I
Joe Frazier and Roddy Piper box.
I have a weird idea.
All right.
What if we let Roddy Piper wrestle a wrestler?
I don't know. That seems too complicated.
I don't know, man. Now I get it. It's WrestleMania and you got this big celebrity involvement. You got to do something. But just looking back on this, it just hasn't aged as well as I feel like they might have liked it to. I didn't hate this boxing match. I'm gonna go ahead and say that. I just know that with us doing every event, like pay-per-view event, I probably don't have that much Piper left, and I want to see some good Piper before he's gone. And I'm instead watching him box Mr. T.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, the worst part about it is we're listening to two commentators, Vince McMahon, who might know a little bit about boxing, very
He
rich
knew
guy, and
what
then
boxing guys to bring to this show. That he knew
yeah,
that much.
and then what other best person to put with him than boxing expert from the women who
Susan.
started in Peyton Alley.
Yeah, Susan St. James.
Uh, I
Yeah.
mean,
Noted boxing expert.
yeah, name a better duo for commentary. I'll wait.
Well, I'm gonna be here
Also,
a while, brother.
also these guest referees or guest judges, my bad, who are supposed to
Yeah,
be doing, they do judges for boxing, quote unquote scorecards.
yeah. We
These
never
people
see
have
any of
no
these.
clue how to score a boxing
I
event.
I want to see those scorecards.
Yeah,
Like,
let me see that shit.
what did Herb? What? Well, he was
What?
the timekeeper. Say, what did Herb give this fucking? What did he give this? The first two rounds. What was his scoring?
You know what they should have done? They should have made it where it was Herb and he was boxing Piper, and Piper was calling out Herb, and Herb was getting the crowd, like kind of like Pee Wee Herman, and he was just getting the crowd behind him, and then Herb knocked out Roddy Piper. That's how it should have went down.
That's already way better than what we got. But again, I will say I didn't hate this. I didn't think it was entirely terrible. It was a slow start. Holy shit, was it a slow start? But it kind of got to something. Um, I I didn't hate how it ended. I was more relieved we weren't doing 10 rounds of this
Hmm.
because holy shit, these 3 minute rounds were the longest 3 minutes.
Yeah, and at one point they flashed the time on screen, and it said 157,
Yeah, and
and
I was like,
then
fuck.
yeah, but then they did it again and it said 132. It's like you told me 20 seconds? Like tell me when there's like a minute left or 30
Yeah.
seconds. Uh but yeah, I mean first round, not too much about try to write a little bit about each round. Mr. T, I think he was dominating the first round. But every time they would hug or it's a grab, my bad. They'd go in for a grab or the referee would try to split them up. I always thought it was funny because Piper would just keep hitting him. He was like, I don't care.
Yeah,
I'll reach around him.
Piper was boxing like a heel, as weird as that sounded. So he at least kept like he boxed, but he at least kept the shittiness of his character intact. I really I thought Piper was actually really great in this boxing match.
Hmm.
There's a part at the beginning where when the ref's going through the whole like all the rules, he's running the whole rules, and the entire time Piper just won't stop talking shit over him. He's like, "I'm about to fuck you up,
Yes.
dude. You
Yes.
can't handle this. I'm gonna beat the hell out of you. You're going down, motherfucker." And the ref's like, "Bro, I'm trying to tell you the fucking rules." And they bump chest, and the ref goes, "No, I want none of that."
Can I be honest about something?
Hell yeah.
My dumbass thought this was going to be an actual boxing match.
He thought they were gonna shoot box each other. Yeah.
Dude,
All
I was thinking like, are we sure Piper wants to do this? Like, I think he's about to get his
right.
shit kicked
They
in.
legit didn't like each other, so I wonder how hard this was to to work here.
But yeah,
It's
I
probably
seriously
easy to
thought,
make it look good. You just want to actually want to punch the fuck out of him.
hmm yeah, but I was like, really? Are we really gonna fight? Like, what the hell is going on? But yeah, I mean, round one, I don't know. I would say Miss 2-1, but it could have gone either way. But who cares?
Yeah.
Round two. Did you hear how round two started?
Yeah, Piper put that shit on his face. So he put like a bunch of grease on his face or something.
Yes, but also, Vince asked Susan, who would you give the first round to? And she said, yes.
Oh yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah.
And oh my God. But
Susan had some good boxing takes after this, like after the match is done. Like she kind of points out the flaw in the booking here.
okay. Um, But yeah, round two, it was all Piper.
He was fucking him up.
Yeah, he knocked down Mr. T twice in round two. Uh, one time when he knocked him down, Piper kicked him.
Yeah, he kicks him in the back of the head when the ref's not looking that direction.
He got back on the 8 count on the second time. The second one looked way worse. Uh,
I did think it was weird that the boxer, the quote unquote boxer, kind of getting like knocked down clean in round two was
yeah.
kind of strange. After Piper throws that little kick to his head, Susan goes, "Why is he doing that? He was winning it fair and square." Kind of because she realizes like, "Oh, I'm not supposed to be on Piper's side, so
Yeah.
let me take away some of that. Let me backhand the compliment a little bit by saying kind of." But she was right. Like Piper didn't really have any reason to cheat or fuck with him. He was kind of kicking his ass.
hmm And then as they went to their respected corners, Bob Orton goes over there with the bucket and throws water on all of them.
Yeah. He just chucks water at the whole corner.
And
And
we're
the
not
ref
gonna
is just
take
all right with
away.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not gonna take away any points. We're not gonna tell the judges to dock anything. We're just
We're
gonna.
not even going to clean up the water.
Hell no. We're gonna keep that shit there. Oh my god. Uh, but yeah, round three. This was the Mr. T round. I mean, he beat the shit out of Piper this
Yeah,
round.
yeah,
I
he did.
mean,
He got a nice little 9 count on there to like the closest you're gonna get to I guess a real near fall
mhm,
in a worked boxing match.
yeah. And did you see Mr. T's punch to throw Piper out to the onto the ground?
Uh, was it like kind of a wild
It was
haymaker
a
almost?
wild haymaker that was not even close to Piper, but
Yeah,
you
Piper
just
like
see him
jumps and back
shoot
bumps
out of
and
the
rolls out.
round.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Did
yeah,
you happen to see what the round cards are after the third
boxing
round is
gloves,
over?
right?
Giant fucking boxing gloves.
Yeah, because they pointed out that when the girl got in there, the crowd started cheering, and
Yeah.
they haven't done it the previous rounds because of all the mayhem that's been going on.
Yeah, because she'd have gotten water chucked at her. But honestly, here she should have been looking out for flying stools.
Imagine if she would have got in there and slipped on the water.
And breaks her neck on the stool that was chucked at Mr. T.
Oh my god.
$1 million babies herself. Because Piper just fucking launches this thing at Mr. T.
No, yeah, he actually hits him with it.
Yeah, my notes go Piper chucks the stool at Mr. T. Fuck.
What if that's because you think it's him just being a really good heel, or he was
Yeah,
mad at Mr.
and
T for doing something?
both. He's mad at Mr. T for doing something, but he can go do something about it because he's just playing heel.
You know what? Let's recall 2 episodes ago on WrestleMania
Okay.
1 where we were complaining about Mr. T's
I
wrestling.
was going to point that out. This was far and away a better performance by Mr. T.
Yeah, yeah. When he's not having to try to do suplexes and uh,
Yeah, and wait for a Hulk
lariats and
Hogan
shit.
tag.
Yeah.
He's also fucking exhausted. That's probably helping.
um,
But I thought Mr. T did great. I don't have any complaints about Mr. T this time
mhm.
around, honestly.
But
But
yes,
it's around here where I kind of start understanding like the story of the boxing match, and I'm kind of getting into it now. Which is I'm glad the finish comes when it does though. I wasn't into it to where I wanted to see more boxing
yeah.
for 10 rounds, but every round Piper was doing something progressively shittier than the last round. So I was just excited to see that, and of course he does it, but it ends up ending the match though.
uh, but yeah. So after Piper throws the stool at Mr. T, some other things that happened. There was a moment where Piper hit Mr. T in the face, and Mr. T's mouth guard went flying out. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
What's crazy is the ref kicks it out of the ring, which if this is a real boxing event, they're supposed to stop and let them put it back in, wash it off, and everything. Um,
Just to gross you out at redneck brawls, man. When someone's mouthpiece knocks out or gets
uh-huh.
knocked out, the ref just picks it up and puts it back in their fucking mouth.
They have
We
gloves
do
on.
in fact live in a post-COVID world. I'm sure I don't remember. I can't say for sure. I can't remember.
Let's hope so.
Redneck Brawl is the greatest thing that's ever existed, by the
Yeah,
way.
yeah. I mean, we watched that whole event that one day, so um,
I've been to like two since then and watched another one.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this is the worst ref ever. If you're gonna try and sell a
God, yeah.
boxing event to me, how about you get a ref who actually does the fucking rules?
Yeah.
Um,
What do you mean, man? This guy ran all the rules down. You just couldn't hear him because Piper was shouting the whole
oh,
time.
that's yeah. They all got null and voided. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, that's why he was allowed to chuck stools at him and all that shit.
And yeah,
It's like, how did he not get disqualified for that? They waited for him to body slam him.
and one of his managers in the corner is just allowed to throw water on everyone. I mean, that's totally fine with me. So, but yeah, so the match ends with Piper pushing over the ref and basically, what is he like? I don't. What would you call that move? He just slams
Yeah, he
body
just says it's
slams,
like a scoop slam or body
scoop
slam.
slam.
He just, yeah.
He whoa, scoop slams Mr. T, and yeah, he gets DQ'd. Technically, Piper didn't get knocked out by Mr. T, so he can continue to wrestle,
Yeah,
as
that's
he
exactly how that
claims.
happened. He's not breaking his promise. Uh, so this probably probably my favorite finish of both WrestleManias. I loved it.
Okay.
I know it's another fuck finish, but you're not about to have a boxer get knocked out by Piper, and you're not about to have Piper get knocked out and look bad on WrestleMania and have to retire. But you can have Roddy Piper be a total shithead and ruin the spectacle for everybody, and that's kind of what he did. But they built to him doing it. It wasn't just like we want to waste 5 minutes with Roddy Piper. He just kicks him right away. No, we got like 3 or 4 rounds of Piper convincing or trying to like convince himself that he can box Mr. T, and then when he finally realized he can't, he just kind of fucking scoop slams him, and then we get the fuck out of there. I thought it was great. Meltzer didn't. He gave this negative 5 stars. I would at least give it 1.
It's funny.
I thought this was fun, man. Like, yeah, this
Yeah.
wasn't a good wrestling match or anything by any means, but I thought this was a fun little segment. I enjoyed it.
Maybe I don't know. People probably were in love with Mr. T back then, especially with the A
I guess they
team and
had to be.
WWF boxing. So
Was
I
Rocky
mean,
3 out yet?
ooh, that's a great question. Uh, Rocky 3 was out.
Oh, so
Oh,
we actually do have Club Lang here.
that's a great reference. I love that. Uh, and so yeah, so but after the match, they're literally everybody is jumping into the ring. Joe Frazier's literally trying to hold Lou Duva the whole time. I don't know what he's doing, and he tries to grab a hold of Bob Orton, and he won't let go, and it's just a mayhem going on in the ring. I think
It,
Vince was saying like, "There's a melee going on. There's a
he calls
melee."
it a melee.
Melee, yeah, melee.
Yeah. It just looked like hell was trying to break loose, but it just couldn't do it.
Jesus. But yeah, so Piper loses by DQ. Congratulations, Mr. T, 2-0 at WrestleManias. Um,
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but I hope I never see you again at another WrestleMania. Okay,
I don't think we will actually, at least not in a performer role.
thank
I don't think
God.
we will.
Thank God. But yeah, next up we go to the Chicago part. The New York part is over.
Oh
We
man, how'd you feel about it?
ooh, um, best match in New York was Randy and the Animal.
All right, cool, cool.
And
Yeah,
yours
I
was the
definitely
boxing?
agree.
Yeah.
I know. It was. I definitely agree that Randy Savage and George Steele was probably the highlight of that. Yeah, I didn't think the boxing thing was bad. The Orndorff match and the Jake Roberts match were kind of like, really, this is our Mania match. We get 4 matches, and this is what we get.
Yeah, they were
But
kind of like filler episodes.
yeah, for real. Uh, I wonder if the roster was just like. Honestly, I can't say that this roster must have been thin because there's a fuck ton of people on this show.
Yeah, especially like a lot of new faces too.
But
that
that's
we haven't
kind of
seen
the
in the past
problem
two.
of having 12 matches across 3 cities or whatever. You have to split your roster into thirds right now and then make
Yeah,
cards
true.
based off of that. So you probably have to think of shit like what are we building to, or who can draw in what town, who's from this area or somewhere nearby where maybe they can draw a little more of the people that want to see the hometown guy, or maybe Hogan just does better in certain cities than maybe he does better in New York than Chicago or Los Angeles or what the fuck ever. So I'm sure there was a lot of meticulous planning that went into putting each match where it was, or they just threw darts at a fucking board and just did whatever the fuck they wanted. It's probably one of the two.
But what's good is like they had at least one of their three biggest stars at each of
Yeah.
the main event, like
You
Piper, Andre, and Hulk.
yeah, you had like your big star in you had your big star and like your big heel in every show or every
Hmm.
town, but you also had like one of your uprising stars, like your Randy Savage or your Jake Roberts. You'll get your Ricky Steamboat, the tag match will be somewhere.
Yeah, I gotcha. Uh,
So every town has a little bit of something.
mhm. Yeah, next time we see Vince and Susan, they'll be sitting in chairs right next to a small TV to see
Yeah.
promos. So every time we flash back to them. But yeah, next up,
Yeah.
Chicago. The announcers, Gorilla Monsoon, Gene Okerlund is on announcing. Or not announcers, commentary, my bad, these are commentators. And
Yeah, it
then
was
the
him and
female was,
is Elvira, right?
nope, Kathy Lee Crosby.
Oh, okay, that's right, that's right.
Most famous for being in the show The Incredible. I think it's what it was. Yeah,
Okay.
Kathy Lee Crosby, American actress and former tennis player, still alive to this day, 79 years old. Congrats, Kathy.
Okay.
Trying to see if Kathy was in like a movie that I would know, but being born in the
Probably not, right?
2000s, yeah, very hard to say. Maybe you. She's got some 90s movies
Uh,
on here, but
yeah, but I didn't really watch a lot of movies.
yeah. She was in the what is this? I think she
There's
played,
somebody that's a huge Kathy Lee Crosby fan right now, screaming at us for
dude,
not knowing
Kathy Lee Crosby. Guess what?
what.
She was the first ever on-screen Wonder Woman.
Oh, cool.
Yep,
That's cool.
1974. Kathy Lee
Okay.
Crosby.
She
Avid.
was in an episode of The Love Boat.
Really? Kathy Lee Crosby, by the way, avid wrestling fan.
Oh yeah, you can tell, dude. She has a massive grip on everything going on tonight.
Hell yeah. uh, but yeah, so basically, uh, we we start out the night with the ladies title. We have the
Man,
or ladies title
not quite the
championship, my
showing
bad.
of the last time we saw the women's championship.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, the WWF Ladies Championship. Fabulous Moolah. We saw on WrestleMania 1. She lost the championship then, so she got it back before WrestleMania 2. Congratulations to her. Versus Velvet McIntyre. I'm just gonna say it. Um, these ladies look really old, and I don't want to be that guy. They were moving great out here. Maybe that's why the match was 59 seconds. But yeah, they did looked extremely old.
So, would you like to know what happened to Wendy Richter between WrestleMania 1 and now?
Yeah, what happened?
So, Wendy Richter was the center of a lot of controversy in the
No.
WWF, and she has since been pretty much blackballed. And I'm almost certain that it stayed that way for a while. I do think she got in the Hall of Fame at some point, but so her and Moolah, I think, had legitimate real life beef. But in 1985, after losing and then regaining the title from Leilani Kai, Richter was scheduled to defend her title at Madison Square Garden on November 25th of that same year against a masked woman known only as the Spider. During the mask, the Spider broke from the planned events and pinned Richter to the mat. The referee who was in on it delivered a swift 3 count, and of course, the Spider unmasked to reveal that it was in fact Moolah. It was reported that the plan to get rid of Richter, to rid Richter of the title, was concocted by Vince, who brought in Moolah after Richter refused to sign a new contract with the company. Richter claims that she was still under her original 5-year contract, but that she regularly had disagreements with McMahon about her compensation. She also claims that when she arrived at the arena that day, she was supposed to find Moolah backstage, as she never showed up to events at which she was not scheduled to wrestle. After the match, an infuriated Richter left the arena in her wrestling gear, took a cab to the airport, and booked herself on a flight out of New York. Afterwards, never speaking to Moolah again.
Jesus.
Yes. So
That
this
is
is actually like
crazy.
the original. This is named the original Screwjob, which is pretty crazy.
God,
Ace was
that
actually telling me a lot
sucks.
about this a few weeks ago when I was like hardcore praising Wendy Richter after we watched WrestleMania 1,
Yeah, you want
because
to know
she
something
was
crazy?
what's up?
WrestleMania 1, Wendy Richter's age, 24 years old, 24 and a half years old. Do you want to guess Fabulous Moolah's age at WrestleMania 1 and this year at
Oh,
WrestleMania?
it's probably significantly higher.
WrestleMania 1, she was 62. WrestleMania 3, she was 63. Or WrestleMania
I,
1, she was 62. WrestleMania 2, she was 63.
I can't wait till you see her as women's champion in 1999.
Get the fuck out of here.
what wait till you see what happens to women's wrestling in the fucking 90s, dude. It takes a minute for that to get where it needs to be.
bro,
It takes a minute.
bro, Fabulous Moolah is basically the Ric Flair. Like, she won't retire. She's 63 years old and she's still moving like that. Good for her.
Yeah, she's dead now,
Yeah.
and kind of somewhat canceled. Like she was supposed to have a battle royal named after her a few years ago,
Hmm.
like Andre the Giant had, and then there was a lot of public outcry to the sponsors, so it was renamed to the WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal.
What? Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Also, something that's crazy. Uh, I just looked this up. Velvet McIntyre, she looks older, but she was actually 24 in
Huh.
WrestleMania 2. I could have sworn she was in her 50s. No offense, Velvet McIntyre, if you're listening to this. Um, but I mean, you look great out there. Like, good for you, but yeah.
Velvet McIntyre was someone I'd always just heard the name of, but never actually seen wrestle, and I still feel like I haven't.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, this match, it was just another filler. Let's just have a shitty ending match. I mean, it literally starts up. They're fighting. They're going fast. I'm gonna
Yeah, they
reverse your
kind of
move.
come
You
out
reverse
like,
my move, type of shit.
yeah, they just jump right out of the gate, just guns blazing.
And
Like
then all of a sudden,
Moolah jumps her and just starts like giving her 50 fucking snapmares,
mhm,
and then a bunch of sloppy women's wrestling happens.
yep. Velvet gets her on the ground, decides to dive off the top rope, misses, gets
Yeah,
pinned.
that does not pan out very well for a lot of people tonight. She eats shit
Yeah,
when she jumps off that splash.
she basically belly flopped.
Yeah, that fucking sucked.
Yeah. But she gets pinned, and the fabulous Moolah retains. She's
Yeah,
still champion. I
well,
don't think the
it's a cool
match
thing.
lasted a
Okay,
minute. I think that's probably the fastest women's match record for them. So
they'll get much faster in around the 2012 era, but it was a minute 25.
minute 25. Jesus, terrible, terrible, terrible.
Yeah, it was not good, especially given last WrestleMania with how much I really enjoyed Leilani Kai and Wendy Richter.
Hmm.
Yeah, just and seeing Moolah not only have the belt back, but like fucked our girl out of the belt, real life shit heel, and then she just gets to storm through Velvet McIntyre because they were given 2 minutes to wrestle at WrestleMania 2.
Dude, I mean, at 63 years old, they were just, like, hey,
Yeah, not much she can do, I guess.
can you give us 2 minutes, please?
What do you you can give her 4 snap mares and then miss a splash?
Jeez. But
Oh
yeah,
well, it's gonna get much better soon because
yes,
your
it
one of
is.
your
We're
favorites is here, man.
dude. Oh, how did you know? How did you know? My favorite
Because
heel ever, bro. I not ever.
yeah,
There's no way. We have a flag match, is how they quote it.
yeah,
A
the
flag
winner gets
match.
to raise their colors high.
Yep. We have the GOAT, Nikolai Volkov, with classy Freddie Blassie,
Hmm.
versus a guy who is in the Wrestling Classic tournament, Corporal Krishna,
Yeah.
or
Yes.
Kirchner. Dude, I just love when I look at my notes on my phone and it's all just red underlines. Like, please autocorrect this. This is literally it for this whole
I don't
match.
have red under my Kirshner. I guess I
Really?
spelled it right or it's
Maybe you
in
spelt it
my
right.
dictionary. Yeah.
Yeah, nope, I have an S in there, so randomly. All right.
Yeah,
Uh,
I do too.
but yeah,
Oh, I actually spelled it wrong. I spelled it Kirshner. It's Kirchner. My bad.
Kirchner, yeah.
Yeah.
Corporal Kirchner.
Oh well. I don't care.
Dude, but let's go.
Kirshner
We get
kind of fucking
the
sucks.
Yeah, he does. But we get the reason why we're all here.
Oh
Soviet
yeah.
national anthem, baby.
Yeah, and I can't. Every time it starts now, I'm just like, how is he gonna get fucked over out of this?
Exactly. I was waiting. I was trying to watch his six just in case Corporal was gonna sneak up on him
Yeah, you
before the
never know with
match.
those sneaky Americans.
But
But
also,
instead, as soon as he's done, they just blast American music.
yeah, because I don't know why, but WWE wants to make it a point every pay-per-view we've seen to shit on every other country and let's just fucking be USA, USA, USA type shit.
Only, only if they're heels, because we're completely cool with Tito Santana, except Jesse Ventura, who's convinced that he's from Tijuana, Mexico, and
Correct. Yeah, you're
calls him
right.
Chico. But I can't tell if that's because Jesse Ventura might be. I guess he's racist in this time period. I don't fucking know. I'm sure he's not in real life. I'm sure he's not. But like, god damn, some of that commentary.
But I mean, this match lasted barely anything. I don't-
Yeah,
Which
it was
sucks because
205.
yeah, I mean Volkov, he's so cool and he's such a good heel and he gets so much hate from everyone. And if
Yeah,
you want to
it's easy.
frame Corporal Kirchner or whatever, you want to frame him by being like, okay, America, 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 let's raise the American flag. How about we like spread it out a little bit? Let's make this like a 5 minute match and let's really show how badass America is and everything. I mean, I love America. We're from here, whatever.
Yeah, I'm,
But
I'm I'm pretty cool living here and all, but I
yeah,
get it, man. Sometimes it's like, yeah, okay, guys, we're great. Yeah, okay, okay. We don't have to tell everyone all the time so much.
yeah.
We know we're good. We know. We live here.
Also looked it up. One of Kirchner's last matches in WWE.
This was
It's one of them. Yep.
okay. Uh, there's a wonderful thing here where he's. I guess Kirshner maybe rolls outside for a minute, but Blassie yells at him, "Get in there, you yellow dog!"
Classy Freddie Blassie, the best manager. Thank God. No,
I I
I don't think
enjoy
he's
him.
even
I
close.
enjoy him. I
Yeah.
think I think Jimmy Hart is probably my favorite right
Yeah,
now.
he's so funny. Oh my God. Like,
He really
he's the
is with the
best.
megaphone. Him coaching with the megaphone. That's coming up, and I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, back to back.
But
But yeah, so basically what happens, Blassie tries to throw his cane to Volkov. Corporal Kirchner intercepts it. He hits
yep,
Volkov while the ref was down on the ground. But
yeah,
randomly, the
from
ref.
where Kirshner accidentally fucking elbows the ref or some shit.
Yeah. But right whenever Volkov falls to the ground, of course, the ref pops back up and counts him 1, 2, 3. And Volkov loses. He's 1-2 in pay-per-views now.
Yeah.
What a shame.
What's what caused Kirshner to get busted open?
Was he?
Because Kirshner was fucking bleeding.
Huh.
I don't know what caused it, if it was like an accident or like something happened, but this dude was like bleeding out of his fucking head at one point.
Maybe it was Volkov's nails.
I don't know. Maybe.
Wait, didn't they fought outside the ring, right?
Yeah, it might have been something out there. I watched this literally last night, and I can't remember that much for some reason.
Yeah. All right.
This was quick and kind of simple, but it got you your easy, America pop for the night.
Mhm.
Chicago is getting fucked over on quality because they got a women's match, this, and a battle royal with football players and a tag match, bro. The other, as much as I love the British Bulldogs and um, the Dream Team and Andre the Giant and a bunch of football players I don't know the name for. The other towns got Mr. T and Piper and Hulk Hogan and Ricky Steamboat. Bro, the Rosemont Horizon got fucked over. Like they were relying solely on Andre the Giant for that.
Yeah, and literally like those two matches that we saw, they're combined for less than 5 minutes, right? And then their final
Yeah.
match is this 20-man battle royale.
Well, the main event for uh Chicago is the Bulldogs against the Dream Team.
Oh, it was, wasn't it?
Yep. Because the Battle Royal's next, buddy.
Yeah. Uh, okay. So basically, yeah, we got the battle royal. We got Mean Gene going into the ring, explaining the rules for the over the top. They must go over the top and touch the floor. Everyone knows the rules. Guest referee for the match, Dick Butkus. You might know him.
Yeah.
I mean, he's very
Um,
famous.
yeah, I've heard his name a few
Yeah.
times. I even wrote Dick Butt Kiss right here.
Oh God.
So
Also,
I wrote some old lady I don't recognize as a timekeeper, and she has found the beef apparently.
yes, dude.
What is the joke? What is the found the beef shit?
I have no clue. Her name is Claire Pillar. Let's do a quick Google. We're keeping all this in. Claire Pillar. I want to
We have
see.
to. Oh,
uh,
she starred in the 1984 Where's the Beef advertising campaign for Wendy's. So we've got a Burger King and Wendy's rep in the same show,
At
and no
two
McDonald's
different
rep in the third
locations.
town. What the fuck is going on in 1986?
Wait, you said there was a in the what happened in Third Town?
No, I'm saying, and there's not going to be a McDonald's rep in the third town. We had the Burger King dude
Oh,
last time, and now we have Clara Peller, who's from fucking Wendy's. What is happening?
dude, I don't know, but the ads they had is crazy. What happened to
One
the
day we'll
Where's
just
the
watch
Beef
those and review them.
lady?
She's dead.
She died the year after, 1987.
Oh no,
Yeah, congested heart
that's
failure.
oh my god, she
Eh,
did find the beef.
Did you see whenever they panned to her, she didn't know what the fuck was going on? And
None of these people do.
thank God they had her mic muted, bro. Thank God, because no clue what the fuck she was saying. But
I'd have loved
uh,
to see it. Man, are you ready for this fucking battle royal?
wait a second.
What?
I I'm so okay. We're gonna get back to this, but we're keeping this in too. Listen,
Okay.
Wendy's fired Miss Peller. Okay, you
Oh
wanna know
my
why?
god. Why?
Because right after her Wendy's commercial in 1985, she did a commercial for Campbell's Prego spaghetti sauce proclaiming, "I found it. I really found it."
Oh no.
The fast food chain contended that the commercial, this is Wendy's,
Yeah.
infers that Clara found the beef at somewhere else rather than Wendy's. So that's when they found her. Or that's when they fired her, I mean.
Dude, Wendy's Denny Lynch stated Clara can find the beef only in one place. And that's Wendy's.
Jesus.
I made them millions and they don't appreciate me. So I'm going to the WWF, you motherfucker.
Yeah, and I'm gonna do a commercial for Campbell's spaghetti sauce.
What the
Jeez, I
fuck?
don't think Campbell's does spaghetti sauce
She
anymore.
made an uncredited cameo on Saturday Night Live.
What? Shout out Clara Peller.
This appearance at WrestleMania is on her wiki.
She's also
Oh man,
4'10".
man.
That's crazy. All right. So yes, we have the 20-man battle royale. Also,
Who
want
do
to
we have
point
here?
out Too Tall Jones is also special guest referee as well.
Yes.
Um, but I have the participants down, so I'll go over them real quick. We have Jimbo Covert from the NFL. We have wrestler Pedro Morales, wrestler Tony Atlas. First sight seeing him,
Yeah,
pretty
Mr.
cool.
USA,
Yes, sir. We have wrestler Ted R. City.
our city.
Yep.
Yeah, strongest man in the world at this time, I
Huge
suppose.
dude. Huge dude. Yeah. We have NFL star Harvey Martin. We have Golden Boy Dan Spivey, wrestler. We
Mhm.
have Hillbilly wrestler.
And Hillbilly
Hillbilly
Jim,
Jim. My bad.
Hillbilly
Yeah.
wrestler. No, that's his name, Hillbilly wrestler.
We have wrestler King Tonga. King Tonga, really cool name. Really cool.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard of this guy before.
Really.
Yeah,
We
this is
have
my
the
first King Kong experience.
we have the Iron Sheik. We
Hell
have
yeah.
Ernie Holmes from the NFL. We have B. Brian Blair and Jim
Yep.
Brunzell. What was their name again? Their tag team?
The Killer
The
Bees.
Killer Bees.
See, they
Uh,
wear yellow and black like a bee. That's their thing.
we have Big John Studd.
Big John Stud's back,
Love
baby.
him. Love him. We
A
have
big debut here. Unless I'm getting ahead of myself, but go ahead.
Big John Studd. Oh no no
No, no,
no!
no.
I know. I
After,
got you. I got you. We have
yeah,
Bill Fralick from the NFL. We saw him in
yeah, that's
Friday
it right
Night
here. I can't wait to see him
promo
in more
earlier.
WrestleManias.
Yeah, for real. Second appearance too. He's in that promo of Big John Studd earlier.
Yeah, he didn't have any class because he was a football player.
But yeah, here you go. Just like you were mentioned, we have the
Yep.
Hart Foundation.
Bret
Bret
Hart's
Hart
here, baby.
and Jim the
Bret
Anvil
Hart.
Neidhart. Both wrestlers. We have Russ Francis from the NFL. We have
Yep.
Bruno San
Bruno
Martino.
Sammartino. I can't believe he was on WrestleMania 2 and his kid was on 1.
Yeah, his old ass is here. We have someone you may know. He's like one of the most famous NFL players of all time. William the
uh-huh.
Fridge Perry. He's a
Yes,
huge dude. Yeah.
he's a WWF WWE Hall of Famer, I believe. And I'm pretty sure his Hall of Fame induction was based off of this match.
Okay, cool, cool. He did have a cool spot in it, not gonna lie.
He did.
And then we have Andre the Giant, which
In a
I
battle
mean,
royal can only mean one thing.
literally named after him nowadays. uh, they also had Ernie Ladd join the announce team for this as well.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah. But oh, also let's talk about Andre's gold shorts.
Yes, I did notice this.
What the fuck was that?
A little strange.
Yeah.
A little strange, but whatever.
Fun fact: combined weight of all the dudes in the ring was 5,612 pounds. Jesus
Not
Christ,
only
Bordeaux.
that, this is action personified.
Yeah, true. All right. I have. Do you have anything you want to say about maybe any of the fightings in the match or anything like that? I wrote
It's
down
a
who got
fucking battle
eliminated.
royal.
Yeah.
It's a lot of hugging, a lot of random punching, a lot of failed attempts at eliminating somebody. Somebody will get worked over the top rope and they'll slide to the apron and slide back under. It's your typical battle royal. It's as old as time. Battle royals are like mostly boring until you get to the few things that are that they've got planned to set this one apart. Luckily, we had 50 fucking football players to do spots with. Uh, I do enjoy the stuff that Perry does in the match.
Mhm.
I mean, the crowd's really into Perry, and when he does the thing with Big John Studd, the crowd loses their fucking mind.
Quick question.
But okay,
How do people know? Okay, so especially this is a great you question. How do
okay.
people know when it's their time in a battle royale to go get thrown over,
It
and when should they stop? Because I know they did a thing where you're in a corner with someone, you act, but then all of a sudden you go to the next guy and he eliminates you, or you have to run over there real quick and eliminate the guy. How do you guys work through that?
it really depends where you are. Honestly, some places will be like a little less organized or a little less specific about how they want like stuff like that to go. So they'll just go, "Hey, you 20 fuckheads, you're in the battle royal. I want this dude to win." And you just kind of figure it out yourself. Some places will make a little more of a spectacle about it and have like a an order or something planned out, or maybe they have like maybe they'll go as far as to say, "I want these guys to be the last four," and then they have something they want to do. It just really depends where you want to go, but that's kind of how everything is, honestly. Like everything ranges from like planned, from literal beginning to end with every small detail and nook and cranny planned out. And some people go, "Yeah, fuck it, whatever happens, happens." There's drawbacks and there's perks and quirks to both, but
I got you.
if I hope that answer is satisfying.
Yeah, no, I was thinking they might give you like a script and say, I don't know, someone would say like at the 3 minute mark, this is when I want Cameron to eliminate, blah blah blah. So just
I've
jab
never seen
or jab in
one.
the corner. I mean,
I've never seen one go as far as like times because it's kind of hard to keep track of that.
hmm
And well, I imagine especially around this time it would have been. Not every place is going to have referees, you know, like with earpieces or mic'd up to be able to communicate time cues to you.
hmm
Uh, again, it's just one of those things where it's like it kind of just depends where you're at because every show is going to have like their own certain flavor and approach to how they do wrestling.
Okay, I gotcha. But so yeah, so basically how everyone's eliminated. Uh, Covert and King Tonga, they're out first together. They both get eliminated at the same time. Then we had Ernie Holmes eliminated next, which followed with Jim Brunzell. And then shockingly, one of the first five people out, Tony Atlas.
Yeah,
I
I
thought he
was
was a
really
bigger
shocked to
deal.
see Tony Atlas just get tossed out this quickly.
hmm
And then Pedro Morales right after him. That was a little strange. Pedro Morales, I believe, at this point is a former WWF champion,
Pedro
or maybe he
Morales,
was the WWF champion actually.
as well as Harvey Martin, gets eliminated right after him as well. Uh, guy's name Ted Arcidi. Is that how you say it?
Yes, yeah.
He's out next. We have Golden Boy. He's
God
then
damn, dude.
eliminated next.
Ted Arcidi is the first man in history to bench press over 700 pounds in competition.
Jesus Christ.
He might actually be the world's strongest man.
And then we have Hillbilly Jim and Brian Blair eliminated together next. We have Fralick eliminated after him. Fralick was the guy. I'm going to mention him again.
Yeah,
Had that random ass promo with Big John Studd that we needed definitely.
yeah. He was eliminated by Stud, correct?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So they at least tied that little thing up.
hmm And then we get to our, I want to say, final six here. We have the
Hmm.
Iron Sheik, who's eliminated by Bruno Sammartino.
Yeah, nice little 70s callback there, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know why their moment didn't last longer.
Because it's a
Especially,
battle royal and we want to get the fuck out of here.
yeah, and they had beef in WrestleMania 1 as well, so. Or no, they didn't. Did they? No, they didn't fight.
No,
He went with them.
Brutus Beefcake was the one fighting David
David
Sammartino, I
Sammartino.
believe.
Yeah. Um, and then Bruno is eliminated by Big John Studd. And then here's where the cool part with the fridge and Big John Studd.
Yeah, yes. The
Dude, the
whole point of this
fridge
battle royal, I think.
killed him in the corner.
He really
What's
did.
what's crazy is like so he goes and he shoulder tackles him into the corner. But what's weird is like the fridge was the last Chicago player still in there. And we had or we're in Chicago. So why did he gets eliminated right here by Big John
Yeah,
Studd?
why could they have not got rid of Russ Francis first?
The thing what I think with that is Russ Francis, I think he just won Rookie of the Year in the NFL, so he was
Okay,
a big
okay.
time name.
So you got to book him strong. He can't take a battle royal loss before the hometown hero. Who
Yeah.
fucking cares? Who
And
fucking cares? It's wrestling.
also the Bears just won a Super Bowl then as well. So literally coming off a Super Bowl and they're
Man,
gonna get rid of the fridge is fourth place.
it's too bad we're not watching WCW pay per views because there's another Chicago Bear that graces the wrestling ring. And grace is a very, very carefully chosen word, I guess.
What event is
It's
this? What'd you say?
fucking liberal. Well, in 1995, six,
Uh huh.
Steve Mongo McMichael from the Chicago Bears will sign with WCW and become a fucking horseman.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay,
And
I
he's
gotcha.
probably one of the most like negatively remembered as far as like in ring performance goes.
Not all can be Logan Pauls, can we?
They can't all be Logan Pauls or Bill Goldbergs even, I guess.
Yeah. Brock Lesnar's?
They can't even be William Refrigerator Perry's.
True. But what's funny was he was the fridge was trying to be a good sport and he
Yeah,
pulls John Studd out of the ring. He goes in for a
wonderful
handshake.
moment, man. The crowd
Idiot John
lost
Studd.
their shit.
But yeah, so John Studd's eliminated right out of fridge. And now we're down to our final four. We have Andre, we have Russ Francis, and we have the Hart Foundation still in.
Yeah, I put the final four as what I oh god, I put
Sports
something.
baller.
Yeah, I put comes down to Andre and three small guys.
And guess what? The plan here isn't to just go after Andre. The
No, they
plan
got to
is
get rid of
to
the fucking football guy first.
yeah. Russ Francis eliminated by the Hart Foundation. And then here's where you think, okay, 2v1, but it's against Andre the Giant.
Yeah,
So it
I smell
doesn't
problems.
doesn't last very long. Uh, they are both eliminated by Andre. First was uh, who was first? Was it?
Yeah, he big boots Neidhart over the ropes,
Yep. And then he
and then
picks
just
up,
chucks Bret Hart.
yeah, picks up Brett off the turnbuckle and throws him over, and Andre wins shockingly a
Yeah.
battle
Oh man,
royale.
who'd have fucking thought that the gigantic dude was gonna win a battle royal?
Does it say how long
uh,
this one lasted?
this was 9-13.
9:13.
I'll say this. I talk a lot of shit about the sports ball guys or whatever, but the football players, they did fine here.
They
No
blended
one
in
stood
very
out to
well.
me. Yeah, they
Yeah.
blended in well to the point where like half the time I didn't know if I was looking at a wrestler or a football player.
Hmm.
Mostly, if I didn't know the wrestler specifically, like I didn't know, like I had never seen like Ted Arcidi or the other Killer B, uh, the one that's not B. Brian Blair, or but
Jim
I've also never
Brunzell.
seen Bill Fralick or Ernie Holmes or Jimbo Covert, or I'd never seen King Tonga. So if I didn't know them specifically, I couldn't tell if they were a football player or a wrestler. I just assumed based on what they were wearing because a lot of the football players were wearing either like generic wrestling gear or tights and a shirt. And then obviously Hillbilly Jim's the fucking dude with the big scruffy beard and overalls. But I also knew Hillbilly Jim. So
But also great for Brett's WrestleMania debut.
yeah, I'm happy to see him. I know we're gonna see a lot more Bret Hart over the years. Probably we're gonna see a little bit of Jim Neidhart too. We get a little bit of them as a tag team before Bret, breaks out on his own into the solo stuff.
Who we got new faces so far? We got
We've
George
had a
the
good bit of
Animal. We
yeah.
got
We
the
got yeah.
Hearts. We
Hey, George
have
Wells also made his debut as well as
George Wells.
Jake
Jake the
Roberts.
Snake. Yep. Crazy.
Joe Frazier made his debut.
Yeah.
Velvet McIntyre, and then everybody in this fucking battle royal.
But yeah, so we get oh, Tony Atlas, yeah, you're right. Uh so yeah, after that, after Andre wins, of course he's gonna win, everyone knew it. We go back to New York where Vince is interviewing Piper, and he's basically saying like, haha, what an idiot. Of course I'm still gonna wrestle. He didn't knock me out. Blah blah blah. I'm Roddy Piper. I'm the biggest heel in the world and suck my dick, basically.
Yeah, but he just again sounded like he was concussed and not sure where he was.
He looked very cool though, especially with like he's like
Yeah,
sweating his ass off.
he looked a little deranged. I guess. I guess that works.
Yeah, yeah.
My favorite part of this is Susan says it sounds like a lot of blarney. Yep, that's how I felt too. Yep.
God.
And why do we go to Gene randomly uh interviewing one of the fucking football players?
Yeah, he did, and he went back and forth between him and someone else, right?
And he goes, he cheated. Like, yeah, okay, dude.
Yeah.
And also Sheik comes up and he goes, wrestler is better than football player.
Mean Gene, Mean Gene. Uh,
Gene Mean, yeah.
Iran number one, Russia number one.
Yeah,
Uh,
football, Hawk 2.
Football number two. Yep. Well, then we kick it back to Chicago, where we have Greg the Hammer Valentine and Brutus Beefcake with Johnny Valiant, your guy Johnny Valiant,
I'm
right?
happy to see Johnny Valiant back.
Versus the
I'm
British
happy to
Bulldogs.
see all four of this match because I was a big fan of Greg Valentine in the first show.
Hmm.
And you were a pretty big fan of Dynamite Kid last show.
Yeah, which is crazy. Whenever they said who's a part of the British Bulldogs, because
Yes.
I mean the Dynamite Kid still looks like he's on steroids, but I don't think I recognized him as well. But yeah, I mean it's literally Dynamite Kid and
Davy Boy Smith.
Davey Boy Smith, yeah, which is pretty cool
Now,
because
later on in life, when they split up the tag team, Davy Boy Smith will just take on the name the British Bulldog by himself.
oh okay,
Yeah, but we have a few years left before we get to that. We get some pretty good tag years with these guys as well.
are they in the Hall of
Yeah.
Fame as a team or individually?
I'm not sure. I feel like the British Bulldog. I don't think they would be in as a team. Uh, I don't know. Does he? Is he in it? I don't. It wouldn't shock me to find that Dynamite Kid is not in the Hall of Fame.
Wow, that's crazy. I hope he is. Um,
It doesn't look like it.
the
And if
Bulldogs also had Captain Lou
yeah,
Albano with him,
they did. I
and
love that guy.
Ozzy
He's
Osbourne.
yeah, and for some fucking reason, Ozzy Osbourne.
All right, I gotta say it. Bigger
Okay,
star than Sydney Lauper.
I'll agree. Hey, by the way, that 20-man battle royal was given 4 stars
What? With
by
the
the
ending?
Wrestling Observer.
If anybody else would have won, okay, but I guess I mean that's his first battle royale one at WrestleMania, okay. But they literally mentioned during the fight that Andre has the most battle royale wins in WWF.
Yeah, well, Dave Meltzer loved it and gave it 4 stars.
All right. How long did it last?
It was 9-13.
9:13.
Yeah,
Get out of here.
but this tag match. Sorry to distract from that.
No, it's okay.
Because I was excited to see who was in this tag match. I'm not at this point. I'm not hopeful for a good finish,
Hmm.
but
Very,
I'm just
very
hoping at this
long
point for
match.
good wrestling. It's 13 minutes and 3 seconds. Longest
What?
match on. Oh, wait, no. It's the only match that was technically longer was the boxing match.
Hmm.
Uh, but as far as like matches go, this was the longest match on the show.
You want to know what I noticed that I did not like
Okay,
in the tag team matches we saw?
what's that?
Usually you see the tag team, the partners on top left, and like the good guys are on the top
Oh,
left, and the
yeah, it
bad
was
guys
kind
are
of
on the bottom
inverted this
right.
time.
Yeah, it was inverted, so the good guys were on the bottom left, and the bad guys were on top right, which was crazy. I didn't like that at all, and the camera angles in this was crazy. Also, just seeing the camera angles now, and did you have a chance to watch King and Queen of the Ring yesterday?
I did not.
But Logan Paul had this idea to have a drone with him, and he did a frog splash on the Cody Rhodes, and it was the greatest shot ever. Like it was so good. A drone
That's
shot from
awesome.
his. I have to send it to you after this, but it was fantastic. But yeah, just seeing how far we've come with technology is crazy, and this made me think about it because literally I watched this after I watched the King and Queen of the Ring, but it was crazy.
I
Um,
called the King of the Ring winner, although I don't ever really think it was up in the air. I think it was pretty.
Yeah.
I feel like it was pretty obvious that Gunther was gonna be the guy winning King of the Ring.
Women's too.
But
Nia Jax won women's.
yeah, I didn't know what the women's bracket was because
Hmm.
I don't really keep up with modern wrestling. I just kind of like watch the clips and stuff here and there, and I try to watch the events. I just keep up with who's winning what belts, who's there, who's not, and all that stuff because
I mean, hey, we'll
it's
get there
kind of hard
eventually.
not to.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? We'll be there eventually. But yeah, did you have anything on the match though, wrestling wise? You
It's
probably have a lot.
fucking great. It's
Yeah,
fucking great.
I agree.
That's about what that's really I got a lot I could say, I guess, but
Yeah, feel free.
how do you like the new tag belts? We got new tag belts.
I think they're dope.
We're gonna keep these tag belts for a while. I think these are the tag belts they use up until like 2003, like 2002, 2003, somewhere around there.
Hmm.
Like we have these belts for a while, or at least like this design. They'll get touched up and shinier over the years, but this is the design we keep for quite a while. I don't know why we have two refs because it didn't fucking matter last year, and one of them was Muhammad Ali. But whatever. I
Did
just
we ever see
really,
the other ref? It was
it
the
never really
it
came
was
into
the
play.
short bad ref from the wrestling classic.
Yeah, I don't really remember it coming into play.
No, me either. Yeah.
I noticed that for the most part, the Bulldogs are just kicking their asses. But again, when they're on top, like Valentine and Beefcake are doing some pretty cool stuff. There's this part where actually it's at the end, so I'll wait till we get there. But I was really enjoying the match. I think the Bulldogs are fucking awesome. Like they have
Mhm.
such a cool offense, just a cool moveset. Like seeing all of it happen was just really fucking cool. Um, let's see. I really like the part where he's working on, I believe it's Davy Boy's shoulder, and he does this thing where he like hammer locks his shoulder and then lifts him up and just chucks him into the air and makes him land with on his back with his arm, like his bad arm, behind him.
Mhm.
Really cool.
The one thing I pointed out during this match, the hammer took a flare bump off the top rope.
Yes, he took the little crotch and
I'm
the
gonna I'm
the
gonna
flop.
always
Yeah,
point those out. There was also one uh in WrestleMania one. I think Jimmy Hart took one then, off the
Jimmy
apron.
Hart. Oh, off the apron. Okay, I guess
Yeah.
that's Jimmy Hart took one. Jesus.
Yeah, no, not off the top rope though. Yeah, I mean that's what it. I mean, it was just very entertaining to watch for me, honestly.
Yeah, this was a really good match.
Especially seeing where the heels came in with the tag team titles, and the ending was crazy.
Yeah. Uh, if I'm Dynamite Kid, me and Davy Boy gotta fucking talk.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
gotta have a
So
conversation.
Smith grabs Valentine by the head and rams headfirst into the Dynamite Kid,
Yeah.
who went flying off the ropes.
Yeah, he just plummets and is busted open.
It was scary, like how he falls and everything.
Yeah.
But
This
did
was
you
also
notice?
after Valentine like pulls him up while he's pinning him to be like, nah, no, we're not done yet. Not that I was believing whatever move he just hit him with was gonna pin him,
Mhm.
but I still thought it was a neat little touch because it looks like he fucked himself over. They beat themselves and cost themselves the titles.
They actually had padding though in this venue in Chicago. Did you notice that was an orange padding?
Yeah, this ring, it looked a lot nicer to wrestle in this ring and in this venue than the other ones. Like that ring looked like
Yeah.
it was so soft and had so much give. Like I bet that thing just felt so nice to bump on. Bet it didn't hurt at all. I bet it just felt so wonderful, man. I'm so jealous.
But yeah, so Davey Boy Smith covers Valentine,
Yeah,
and
the
they win
Bulldogs
one,
never
two,
really
three.
looked like they were in danger, but
Mm-mm.
I guess they really weren't supposed to. On the build up to this, I think they had failed to win the titles on two separate occasions, and the
Yeah.
whole thing was like they gave they gave the British Bulldogs one more chance at WrestleMania. Thank fuck because it worked.
Yeah, and also they were basically in control like most of the time too. I don't think there was a bunch where that where they called themselves the Dream Team, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean honestly, yeah, like you said, they're like the British Bulldogs were not phased at all during this match.
No, they kicked the shit out of these guys.
Yeah, new tag team champions. Uh, no one's more excited than Ozzy Osbourne,
Yeah, who says British Bulldogs forever?
and
Ozzy was so excited he just couldn't contain it. Like he just looked like he was in shock. He was so happy.
Dynamite Kid, stage 3 concussion probably.
Probably, dude. Jesus.
Infected forehead with especially blood on blood with the steroids he took pre-match.
Yeah. Thank
Mhm.
God he's not in the same ring that's like covered in dirty padding from the turnbuckle and like rose petals
Mhm.
everywhere.
Yeah, and I couldn't imagine wrestling in a ring where you just had 20 beefy men throw each other over the top rope
I,
where you're
I
gonna
was about to
be
say,
laying your face in.
yeah, he was just in a ring where a bunch of like wrestlers and football players were rolling around for a little while. So
But yeah, so we are done here in Chicago, and now we get to kick it to the best place ever, Los Angeles, where we have the best commentating duo or trio of all
yes.
time. We
Oh my
have
God.
thank God. I thought we were about to go through a whole show without saying Lord Alfred Hayes
Yeah,
and
you get
Jesse
him a little
Ventura.
longer, bud.
Dude, they're great together. Oh my God, what a great duo.
Yeah,
But then, I mean, even with, because they have to have a female commentator as well, Elvira, or how you say her name?
Elvira.
Elvira. Yeah.
Yeah,
God, dude,
I
kill
don't even
me.
know what she is. Who she is. I think she's like some kind of like dark shit. Mistress of the dark.
There's a joke that Ventura opens up with after he introduces her. It's like, what a pair we make, and he's only saying that because like she's showing off her breast in the outfit she's wearing.
He's also trying to get her to agree to go out with him the entire time, which was also kind of strange.
Yeah.
But she plays into it at some point. She's like, "Yeah, if you could go in there and take on Hulk Hogan or whatever, I'd go out with you." And he's like, "Well, fuck, damn it, I can't do that."
Yeah, and it's
She's like,
also
"Yeah, tough
better.
loss, fucker."
It's also better seeing that he's like embraced like the full heel role too
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well.
for sure,
Like
for
he's
sure.
he's definitely Gorilla Monsoon's the good guy and Jesse's
Yeah,
definitely the bad guy.
he's the unbiased, straightforward analyst. He's there calling it like he sees it, and Ventura is just all about the fucking evil and causing chaos. He's also a huge fan of Randy Savage.
Yeah. Remember when Randy used the brass knuckles last event?
Oh man, yeah, awesome. And hey, that's gonna not that specific thing is gonna come into play, but you're gonna get to see a much fucking crazier version of that match next week, bud.
Oh, really? I'm excited.
Yeah, when we talk about WrestleMania 3 later on, I'll explain.
All right.
But
So,
we're in Los Angeles now, and we're going to a pretty fucking good match here.
yeah, no, yeah, good match though, but considering the other two starter matches for Chicago and New York lasted less than 2 minutes, and now you're gonna put me in a match that lasts forever, it felt like.
727.
727? Jesus.
Yeah.
Which I'm saying Jesus, but like nowadays that's like a normal match, like 10,
Yeah,
12 minutes, whatever.
that's the average. Yeah,
That's
that's
totally
yeah.
normal.
Usually 5 to 8's your the time you get. Sometimes you get 8 to 10.
But I think WrestleMania 1 and the Wrestling Classic has just killed me. Now I'm just like, okay, let me see
Yeah,
how this 30-second match is going to go.
yeah. You're skeptical, man. You don't trust anybody.
I do not.
Like everything is gonna. And there's disappointment waiting behind every turn. Like for every really good match, I'm just like, okay, when's it happening? When am I gonna get upset? But that kind of stopped, I think, more or
Yeah.
less.
hmm We
Because
had
I'll be honest, I think I enjoyed the rest of the show. Sort of like, I
yeah,
think the
I don't
only
think
weak
Los
point
Angeles was
on
bad.
no, I think the only weak point wasn't even that weak, but it's Uncle Elmer.
Wait, what did you think about what did you
But I
think
mean,
about
I don't want to skip Ricky and Hercules
Chicago
Hernandez
real
here.
quick? Chicago real quick. What do you think?
Well, like I said, they kind of got fucked when it came to star power. I mean, they got Andre the Giant and a bunch of football guys, so they were kind of probably really relying on that to sell the WrestleMania card,
Mhm.
and then really hoping that this Bulldog Dream Team match delivered. And honestly, goddamn, it did. Because spoiler, the tag match is my match of the night. I thought that match was fucking awesome.
Yeah, it
Um,
was great.
and then you get the easy, cheap little patriotic flag pop because you got to have something. And then hey, free. I don't. Well, I'm not gonna say eye candy because Fabulous Moolah is like like 60 something at this point, but and Velvet McIntyre was gone in a minute 25. But I it's definitely the weaker of the three in terms of like overall presentation and star power. But
Mhm.
damn, I really loved that tag match.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. I mean, they're relying heavily on those two. So,
Mm-hmm.
but
That's
let's
kind of all they had.
yeah. But yeah. So Los Angeles starts out. We have Ricky the Dragon Steamboat versus. I have to laugh every time. Hercules Hernandez.
Yeah.
Steamboat. I don't understand why. Okay. So we have seen 3 pay-per-views. They will literally do anything for Steamboat, but we have not seen him in a main event match yet.
Yeah, he's kind of like
He's
the
like a
problem he's
mid
having
match
right
god.
now. Yeah, yeah, he's the mid card fucking hero right now. And the problem with this is, there were several times I feel like hearing about when they were think they wanted to put the belt on Steamboat at some point, but there wasn't a heel that they wanted Hogan to drop the belt to because Steamboat can't beat Hogan for it. Hogan has to find a heel that's like a little smaller than him, but not too much bigger than Steamboat, so Steamboat could believably do it, and it just kind of never happened. Steamboat's been NWA World Champion before.
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure he did that before he was in the WWF at this point, or he might even. I'm pretty sure he does go to WCW later on post this, like this WWF run. But yeah, man, it's just one of those cases where always a mid card champion, never a main eventer.
Sucks though, because like literally they're pulling
Yeah,
out all the stops to make sure does not get pinned at all.
bro, who is better in the ring on this fucking roster?
It's true.
This guy is so good.
It's true.
There's like one or two arguments for performer for me on this card, but Ricky Steamboat was fucking awesome.
Mhm.
Everything he does, I say this every show. Everything he does is flawless.
His
Is
arm
so
drags,
clean.
phenomenal.
He best arm drags in the fucking business. Then and now, honestly.
It's so good.
Yeah, every time Ricky Steamboat is on my screen now, I just get so fucking happy.
Yeah, me too, because I always want to look like Ricky Steamboat. He's the peak male physique god. But Hercules Hernandez, you ever heard anything about him before this match?
I mean, he's a big fucking guy. I've heard the name over the years. Is another case of like I've never watched really much of his. I didn't think he was bad. I liked him in this match. I thought they had a pretty good match here. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
he had a lot of screen time with Ricky.
yeah, he got 7.5 minutes with Ricky Steamboat, but Ricky Steamboat made him look like a big fucking, you know, muscled up, athletic monster there. There's at one point he's he's oh man, actually I do have a few things to put over Hercules Hernandez for. There's one point where he goes to pin Ricky Steamboat, but he does it in such a way where he like leans over on his like on his arm, on his hand, like he's leaning over to rest his head. He puts his hand on his hip, like to do like a little beautiful pose.
Jesus.
For yeah, it was so I was laughing my ass off for that. They are chopping the fuck out of each other, specifically Steamboat chopping him, and I really thought the gorilla press slams looked really good. There's a point where he's like bashing Steamboat's head into the fucking corners, and I wrote that Steamboat's eating buckles like he's George the Animal Steel. And then he goes up top, dumbass, and he catches knees on his big splash because the only person that can go up top and succeed is Ricky fucking Steamboat.
Yeah, yeah. What was this? He pulls his or he gets his knees up, right?
Yeah, he goes for a splash because it worked for the other four people tonight,
Hmm.
and then he eats knees,
And then
and
Ricky
then
went
Ricky
up and then
Steamboat,
he hit his flying crossbody
yeah,
for the victory. Yep.
winning his match with a crossbody, unlike Randy Savage, who dove 12 feet across the fucking ring to catch George Steele. Did not get
God,
3 on his.
I know you keep talking about their WrestleMania match too, and I cannot wait for it, bro.
Brother. It's great. Hey, real quick before I forget, I know this it probably doesn't matter to most people, to a lot of people, but British Bulldog and Dream Team got 4 stars from Wrestling Observer, and this match, Ricky Steamboat and Hercules Hernandez got 3.
Hmm. Interesting.
Neat, neat.
Yeah. I mean,
I
both
kind of
great
agree.
matches. The Bulldogs
Yeah, I
way
kind of
better.
agree.
Um,
Yeah, definitely. But I thought this was good. I quite enjoyed this. Ricky
yeah,
Steamboat is fucking phenomenal.
yeah, especially with the baby faces winning the titles too. I mean, that's play a part in it as well, and the crowd
Oh
pop
yeah.
as well. So
Yeah, because they've never really had a babyface title win at Mania before this.
that's
Like
true.
this
Oh,
is
oh,
kind of the first time we've pulled that trigger on the big show.
yeah, male too, because we had Wendy Richter in the first one.
Oh, right. You're right. But I still don't feel like that was as built up as Bulldogs and Dream Team. Like we had a whole like Bulldogs had failed twice.
No, yeah, and also we had Cyndi Lauper hype too, so people were
Oh
just really
yeah,
excited
we
to see
did
her.
have the free Cindy Lauper hype. And then
Yeah, you're right.
but look at that. But look at the fallout from that though is Wendy Richter gets fucked over and sent packing.
Wendy Richter screw
And
job. You're right.
yeah, and then some bitch that everybody actually hates backstage is your women's champion again for the 7,000th time for the 700th year.
Yeah, 63 years old for some reason.
Yeah, why not? Her
um,
initial title run when she won the title, Hulk Hogan was 3. When she lost it, he was champion.
what?
Yeah, her initial run, like her like not initial, but like her big like historic run. Because
Jesus.
Fabulous Moolah basically just was the
Women's wrestling.
heartbeat of
Yeah.
women's wrestling because like she was the one that figured out how to survive there first. She has a history of like pimping women out and shit to other dudes. She was very good at the political game and like obviously I don't know any of this for like solid fact. This is just shit I've heard and kept up with over the years. But, like she was very fucking terrible backstage to other women and just she basically just kind of kept herself in her position, really protective, never letting too many get much spotlight other than her. And if they managed to, she found ways to more or less get rid of them the way she did Wendy Richter. Um, Again, I don't know like full details of all of that. This is just kind of stuff I've gathered over the years and like kind of looking into other stuff for the sake of this.
Okay. Yeah.
But she doesn't have like a and it's so weird because it mostly most of all it came after she died. Like, after she was gone, everyone was like, "All right, now let's talk about how fucking bad she was." I don't get it, but why we couldn't shame her when she was alive? We had to wait for her to die to do
Jesus. Uh,
it.
but yeah, so Ricky wins 1, 2, 3. Sorry, Hercules Hernandez. You just weren't strong enough.
Yeah,
Um,
just you were just shy of it, man. If you had gone for a strong move instead of jumping off the fucking top rope.
um, but yeah, so now we move on. Uh, First, before we introduce this, bro, what did they do to your guy Adrian, bro?
Yeah, he's adorable now.
Yeah.
I'm honestly just happy to see him here. It's just to see him wrestle again, and I was hoping he kind of wrestled the same. He sort of wrestled the same, just his demeanor was different. I personally liked Wrestling Classic Adrian Adonis a little better than Adorable Adrian Adonis, but I
Mhm.
did not hate Adorable Adrian Adonis. I think this was kind of like this was the spark of an idea. I think that would later have them go on to be like, hey, let's take what we did with Adrian Adonis, but do it this way, and maybe that became like Gold Dust or some shit, you know? Because this, to me, this looked like somebody trying to figure out how to do a Goldust esque gimmick.
Okay, yeah, no, I can see that. Especially because the dude's wearing a nightgown with
Yeah.
makeup on and it's running everywhere because he's sweating his ass off.
And they'll make and they'll make little comments of like, "Oh, maybe he liked something like that," or some shit for the joke to be, "Oh, we think he's gay."
Hmm.
So naturally, you'd want to boo that.
And also, it's his dress is falling off during it too, and it's being ripped
Yeah,
off,
that's
and
his
they're like,
nightgown or whatever. That's a
"Put your
pretty great
put your
little
dress back
touch.
on. No one
Yeah.
wants to see that." Uh, yeah. So it's Adrian Adonis with Jimmy Hart versus Uncle Elmer.
Yeah. How do you feel about Uncle Elmer?
Dude, he was kicking his ass in the beginning. Uncle Elmer was kicking Adrian's ass every slap.
We can say kicking, but like he was, kind of lightly punching Adrian
Yeah.
Adonis's ass.
There's that
I
one
thought Uncle
point
Elmer sucked.
where Uncle Elmer hit Adonis out of the ring, and Jimmy Hart went over there and he's like, "You gotta watch his fists. Those fists are gonna knock you out."
Yeah, sure. Especially if they actually fucking hit him and he put some ass into it. But the worked '80s punch doesn't quite look as good as the good worked '80s punch, I guess.
Hmm.
Uh, did you see when Adonis is sent into the corner and he just flips his ass off hitting that corner?
Yes.
That was pretty great.
He also gets stuck up in the ropes as well, and Jimmy Hart's
Yes,
trying to free him. I mean, he was doing
yeah,
great at trying to sell this guy's shit, but
yeah, I wrote that he was octopus in the washing machine selling on that shit. Like he would take one hit and he would just flail fucking everywhere, and then come back to him and just take another one and you know fucking bump all around and make it look like that punch really fucked him up. He made the punches look better than Uncle Elmer did. Like Elmer was just there to be the body that Adrian Adonis wrestled and sold for.
hmm, yeah,
Because of
80s
course his whole
flailing is
gimmick
crazy.
isn't yeah. Because his whole gimmick isn't that he's an ass kicker now. It's that, oh, it's funny when this dude who's possibly, gay or whatever sells the way he does. You even get Uncle Elmer doing the limp wrist thing to, like, to, to make fun of him, to insinuate.
Yeah.
Stuff like that was very '80s and didn't really age well, especially with today's environment. And I'm also just trying to watch a fucking wrestling show, I'm not trying to, like, take a political stance on anything. Elvira, speaking of, Elvira fat shames Adonis. Really great.
Oh, you hate to see that
Elmer,
from wrestling fan Elvira.
oh yeah, for sure. Elmer misses a leg drop and is just gone into fucking turtle mode. He cannot get up.
But yeah, so Adonis goes on top rope,
Yeah, and it
hits
works.
a hits a splash on Elmer and wins 1, 2, 3. How long was the match?
It was 3:01, and
Real
it was
one.
about 2.5 minutes too long. The time
Damn.
I want the short stupid finish, I don't get it. I have to wait 3 minutes. I didn't hate this. I was happy to see Adrian Adonis again, but like Uncle Elmer kind of fucking sucked, and I just didn't think this match was as good as the others. But it's fine. It was following fucking Ricky Steamboat and Hercules Hernandez, and it's the only weak part of this fucking card of the LA card. I'll say that.
The women's match and this match should have switched times.
No, thank you.
You didn't want three
I,
minutes of fabulous moolah?
no, I like that match being as long as it was.
uh,
Oh,
sorry.
seeing adorable Adrian Adonis, it makes me feel the need to shout out to my friend Babu. Love you, man.
Babu.
Yeah, he's a member of the tag team, the Heavenly Butterflies.
Okay.
He's wrestled John Moxley on AEW once. Pretty
Oh
cool.
shit.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
I've wrestled
John.
him a lot at New Era in Jasper. Back when I was like New Era tag champs, I wrestled him and his partner a lot. Great guys. I love them to death.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Was their match? Was it like AEW Dark or?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh, okay, gotcha. That's awesome
I
though.
think it was COVID era too.
Hey, still got to fight John Moxley though.
Exactly.
All right, next match.
We got Alfred Hayes with Hogan here.
Really, what were they talking about?
More of the stuff of I'm gonna fight through the injury, dude, because I'm fighting for all the Hulkamaniacs out there. And I got the power of prayer and vitamins and all that shit. And I don't care that my fucking ribs are basically crushed. I'm gonna
Wait,
kill.
did they show the reason why Hulk Hogan is hurt right here?
I don't think they have yet. I think they play that right before the main event.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of Hulk Hogan promos. Like they get the one earlier on, where he's still eating his headband. They have this one where he's still eating his headband, and then they have the one where he's fucking working out, and the doctor cannot believe the feats he's pulling off.
Yeah, that shit's crazy later.
Yeah, that's such a good segment. I can't wait to talk about that when that gets here.
Also, he's eating his headband as he's walking out as well to the arena.
Yeah. There
Um,
was an interesting detail about the promo here that I don't really see a lot in today's world, and I really liked here. You get the hard shot, straight ahead of Hogan next to it was Alfred Hayes. But occasionally you get a cut to another angle that's off to the side but zoomed in on Hogan, and it's just all of his face from the side, like his side profile as he's giving this passionate Hulk Hogan promo. It just looked really cool, and you don't see that a lot with backstage promos now because you get the one still shot. But I thought this was neat, and it's something I kind of like to see a little bit more of.
heck yeah. Whenever you guys do backstage, do you guys just do one shot or do you guys do two?
Typically just one because it's a little harder to do those with multiple shots,
I got you.
like backstage pre-tapes at least. Like we have the technology to do it. It's just like logistically kind of hard to set it up and execute it. But we could 100% pull it off.
Yeah, I got you. But next match, we have Justice Warrior Tito Santana and the best wrestler of all time, the Junkyard
Yeah,
Dog, versus
against the funniest wrestler of all time, Terry Funk.
and his
Brother?
yeah, Hoss Hunk.
Haas Funk, yeah.
Yeah. They should call themselves like the Funk House, do they? The Funk Brothers is what they
I
call
think
it.
they're just the
Yeah.
Funk Brothers.
The Funk
When they
Bros.
said Funk Brothers, I was expecting Dory Funk Jr. to be his partner, but no, it was Haas Funk. I'd never seen Haas Funk before. Didn't hate him. Kind of enjoyed him. Terry Funk is everything I wanted Terry Funk to be in this match, though. By the way,
He's the best. Terry Funk is so funny.
he does this cool part at the beginning where he's just like, "Let me get in there. I want to start this match," and then Haas is like, "Hey man, come on, I want to start it." And Terry's like, "All right, yeah, you go ahead." Like he's pretending he wants to do it to get Haas to to volunteer and do it for him. It's really great.
He was a heel, right? A big heel, Terry Funk.
I believe so, at least in this era.
Yeah.
I enjoy this era Terry Funk. Eventually, he's gonna go. He's gonna be like the middle aged and insane, or insane and deranged, or whatever the fuck. He's gonna get like senile at some point and just do. He's gonna be Chainsaw Charlie, and he'll be like in ECW doing shit. But classic '80s Terry Funk's not something I had seen too much of before the Wrestling Classic, and I didn't get to see him wrestle on the Wrestling Classic because he was involved in the greatest fucking segment of all time. Uh, but I also again really enjoyed this. I thought this match was really fucking good.
Me too.
I love that every time Terry Funk gets in the ring, they find some way to knock his ass out of it, and he just gets like progressively more pissed off every time it happens.
Yeah, he's taking countless bumps in this shit.
Yeah, yeah. Terry's fucking working, dude. He's giving a performance. There's even a part where like Santana goes for a cover and Terry just dives from out of frame and just breaks that shit up before you can even get like a 1 or a 2 count.
Also, we got Jimmy Hart just nonstop
Yes.
talking throughout the
Yeah.
whole thing.
Spit tobacco at him.
Uh,
They do the crisscross spot.
yes, I wrote that 80s crisscross.
Yeah, and then Terry Funk just hits Tito Santana and ruins it. It's so good.
Dude, what a
Did-
pairing though, Tito Santana and JYD.
Yeah, yeah, social justice warrior and the guy that's consistently he's either getting screwed over or getting tournament brackets handed to him. Tito Santana is trying to make up for the fact that he wasn't able to get JYD the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania 1.
It's true, yeah.
This there's a part in here where you get an example of what you were talking about earlier where Elvira is like, "Why is he allowed to be out here?" Like, well,
Mm.
he's their managers, so he like helps them from the sidelines. He's like, yeah, but and then Jimmy Hart starts kicking one of them, and then she's like, yeah, but he's doing this. He's getting involved. Why is no one getting rid of this motherfucker? And they're just like, I
She's
don't know.
going
Dude,
off script, bro.
it's fucking wrestling, man. I don't know. Just shut up about it, please. And then Punk gets a 2 count, and he gets so mad at Hebner for counting slow, he just fucking shoves him for no reason.
Dude, this uh and okay, so when you're watching tag matches and you get the someone's crawling towards the
Yep.
partner and then they finally
You
get
get
the
the hot
tag in.
tag.
Dude, I
Yeah.
love the hot tags in these.
Yes. This
They're
is the
so good.
biggest one we've had in the entire podcast so far, I think. Like I've been waiting for the fucking hot tag every other
Mhm.
match, and you just kind of don't get it. But this is the first one that actually felt like a hot tag.
Mhm. Also, was it? Oh, I don't think it was.
It
No.
being 2 JYD definitely helped because they wanted him in the ring so bad.
Yeah, JYD. Yeah, he punched both the Funks and then hit both their heads together.
Yeah. The old meeting of the minds.
I love it. Is that what it's called? That's funny.
Yeah. And
Oh my
Terry
god.
Funk goes like fucking flying over the ropes from a backdrop, and then he gets slammed onto a table. This one could have used more refs. It's too bad the other match that didn't need two had two refs.
Dude, crazy fact right here. Terry Funk was in his early 40s during this match.
Nice. I love JYD also just like reaches and pulls Jimmy Hart up and just slaps the fuck out of him.
Did you see the table that
That Terry Funk was slammed onto?
yeah,
Yeah.
it was like
What's
a
going
school
on?
desk.
Yeah, you can see the pencil box fall out of the pocket.
Yeah, well, at first they had a guy sitting in it, and I think he moved because someone attacked during like the little desk, but then they try to slam someone through it or something. It was so weird.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Terry Funk
Yeah.
because he falls outside and then and then he just gets his ass beat out there for a little bit. And then with all the chaos in the ring, nobody sees that Terry Funk has the megaphone
Hmm.
and cracks JYD with it for the 3 count.
Yep. And so what's crazy about that is Um, the ref is holding back Tito Santana because he's
Yeah,
mad about everything. So
not
instead of
listening.
instead of Tito Santana going into the ring and breaking up the 3 count because he can see over them and see that his partner just got hit with a megaphone, he
Yep.
jumps off the apron and starts walking around to go talk to Jimmy Hart.
Oh my god, I didn't notice that part.
And he is
I wrote get fucked Tito. I was just waiting for Tito Santana to be like, no man, he hit him with a megaphone. We got to restart this, and I was waiting for him to do it.
Yeah, he jumps off the apron and he's going around and he's not doing anything. He's not running into the ring to stop the count. And then 1, 2, 3, the Funk Brothers win.
Yes. I love Terry Funk, man. I was so happy with this. Match wise,
Ruined
it
my
was
night.
really good. Like it was a cool match.
Yeah.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, it was given 3.5 stars.
Okay. Deserved.
Yeah.
I mean, you got
Yeah,
two
I
funny
agree.
guys versus two funny heels versus two baby faces. I mean,
And two funny heels that can work,
yeah,
or at least
exactly.
Terry Funk that can work. Like, Haas did his thing too. I won't take away from him, but man, Terry Funk was everything I wanted Terry Funk to be based off the last show. Terry Funk might end up being my favorite wrestler. Period. Coming out of this, actually,
Okay.
not even just like performer of the night or whatever. Just I think in general, like Terry Funk's about to take several leaps up into my favorite wrestler slots because I've enjoyed so much of him, and I've only seen him wrestle once. He's
I
just a
mean,
great personality.
yeah, he was definitely MVP of the match, so I
For
can see
sure.
that. Yeah,
For
by
sure. This
far.
was Terry
Yeah.
Funk's match, for sure.
Mhm. Yep. I
But
like honestly though, like I'm mad that JYD didn't win, but I mean Terry Funk with all the crazy shit he did there in the match, screw it, he can have the win.
yeah, he definitely earned his money on this day.
Mhm.
He worked for this. This went 11:42.
Damn, that's
42
good.
seconds longer than the main event.
Damn, should have switched it around.
Should
Um,
have.
but yeah, so next up is main event. But before we get there, we have a video package of why Hulk Hogan and King Kong Bundy are fighting for the WWF World Heavyweight Championship. We see Hulk Hogan fighting Don Morocco,
yes.
and he gets blindsided by King Kong Bundy during the match, and basically he's on the turnbuckle like face first,
Yeah,
and
Morocco's like holding him in
Morocco's
place.
holding his arms, yep, and King Kong Bundy's just doing like splashes into the corner on him.
Yeah, those massive avalanches.
Yeah, the avalanche splashes. Yeah, I couldn't remember it. You're right. Um,
Those will take down any man.
hmm And then Hogan's in the middle of the ring. I remember, and he has like his back. That's the whole point. Like his back is up, and he does like another splash onto his back. So that back's really killing Hulk Hogan right now.
Yeah,
Not only
kind of.
from carrying WWF, but also getting
yeah,
400
yeah.
pounds on his back.
yeah. Being the headliner of two WrestleManias is rather taxing on the body, dude.
But then we get one of the best promo workouts of all time.
I swear to God, this was awesome. if there's one thing I'm gonna miss from the '80s, it is absurd shit like this,
The random ass
where
promos.
they find themselves in a situation where they have to kill a little bit of time.
Hmm
So we need Randy Savage to have some time so he can prep for his main event in the in the finals after wrestling 3 matches. So let's give away a fucking car. We have to set up this cage that weighs so fucking much.
It's
That cage
blue
looked
too.
so heavy. Yes, it's the classic blue cage. The top of the cage is fucking dented really bad for some reason.
Uh-huh. What do you
But to
guys
buy
use
the
to hold up
time,
your cage?
uh, I don't know actually.
I think they wrap something around like the post in the ring, right? I think it's like some kind of
I
like chain or
I'm
something.
sure like yeah, I'm sure for us like some zip ties are involved, but I know that that's not entirely what's keeping it there. I think that's like what we use to hold the the fencing like in place so we can put whatever to actually secure it. I don't know. I've never actually set up the cage myself. I'd have
Yeah.
to ask the
Hey,
girl that
I
does it.
saw you. I've seen where you were in a steel cage match before, and it stayed up the whole time.
Yes, it did.
It was the one where someone random came in every couple minutes or whatever.
we call ours cage warfare. That's
Cage
like a
warfare.
war games is where the original concept was is what the original concept was. It was the old NWA thing, a Dusty Rhodes idea actually, where you have 2 teams of 5, and then you have 2 guys start. Every few minutes, another guy comes in. Somehow the heels always have the 1 man advantage, and then when everyone's in, first pinfall. But we do ours where it's like however many teams of however many, and usually you can get pinned and eliminated or whatever. We've sometimes done it differently. We did one where it was like 3-on-3-on-3 where you had to pin the captains specifically of the teams.
Okay. That's awesome. Where is Dusty? Like, is he not here now or what?
I'm pretty sure he is in the NWA
Okay.
because Dusty Rhodes actually in December of 1985 won the title from Ric Flair at Starcade. Starcade 85, I believe, also took place from multiple locations.
Jeez. Well, I can't wait for him to transition over to WWE.
You're gonna have to wait a few years for that.
Yeah, he'll probably be there with Goldust. Goldust in the 90s too, right?
Goldust comes in at about 95.
Oh,
So Starcade 85 actually took place from 2 locations, from Greensboro and the Omni. Wow.
Where's the Omni at? Greensboro, North Carolina. Where's the other
Well,
one at?
the
Or South
Omni
Carolina?
was in Atlanta,
Oh,
but
okay.
it has since been taken down. I'm pretty sure the Greensboro Coliseum
Hey, you
was
would
as
know
well.
that, wouldn't you, Georgia boy?
I would, yeah, but it was I never I don't think I ever got to see the Omni. I think it was the Georgia Dome. I think that was like the main thing in Georgia by the time I was understanding what the fucking arena was.
Yeah, yeah, I got you.
I said Dusty Rhodes won the belt in the main event of Starrcade, but he actually did not. He did win the main event, but it was disqualification. So even the other company is giving us fuck finishes on the big shows.
Jesus. There was like a handbook going around then. It was like,
Yeah,
do these shitty finishes to keep more
yeah.
fans. Because
Clean
guess
wins
what?
and clean losses. Yuck.
Yeah,
Thumbs down.
yeah, they'll come back if you keep doing the shitty ones because they'll think the
Yeah.
next one's always better. But the grass is never greener here, guys. Trust me.
No, no. It's
Grass is
just
never fucking
barren and
greener.
covered in shit.
But yeah, let's get into this promo, dude.
Yeah, so Hogan, man, he's Jesus Christ.
First of all, he has Hillbilly Jim with him.
Yeah. I'm a man, brother. And a man doesn't stop just because he's got a fucking broken, shattered rib cage.
He
Dr. Bob, bro. Dr. Bob is just like, yo, you can't, you should not do this. You're probably gonna die. And Hogan goes, well, what if I show you the heavy chin or whatever the fuck?
the chin ups,
And then
yeah. So basically,
yeah,
what he does, he
and Gene
wraps
goes, what's
a.
a heavy chin?
We kind of did this thing when I played football. We had we had this thing that went around our head, and you'd attach like a 25 or 35 pound weight on it, and you'd
That's more or
basically
less
like
what he does.
yeah move your head up and down to like do your neck muscles and everything.
Yeah, well, brother, I bet you didn't move your neck up and down while doing a fucking chin up.
Hell no, I didn't do that, and I didn't have 100 pound weight on me while doing that.
Bro, my favorite part of this is Dr. Bob just being like, I can't believe what I'm seeing here. This is like that's his expert medical diagnosis, seeing the dude with the fucked shattered rib cage or whatever, or his back's hurt or whatever, doing a heavy chin. This doctor's like, what? Hulk Hogan's he's a superhero. Like, this dude could not believe that Hulk Hogan was pulling this off. But he
Also,
wasn't really showing the emotion for it. He's just like, I can't believe this is happening.
also Hogan kept quoting 5.5 weeks of pain. I'll do anything to beat King Kong Bundy. Five and a
Yeah,
half weeks
yeah.
of pain.
The long ride in the coffin as the ambulance. He kept referring to the ambulance as like that long ride in the coffin or the
Mm.
long ride in the box or some shit like that.
He'll do anything to beat King Kong Bundy.
Anything, dude.
King Kong
Even
Bundy,
just
fan favorite here for both of us.
yeah. I liked I liked Bunny in this match.
Mm. So after the promo, it's main event time, of course. Um,
Yeah, so that means we're gonna have 1,000 fucking
yeah, random people that we're gonna have to Google right now as we're looking them up. But we have main event time. Ricky Schroeder, guest timekeeper. You know anything about Ricky Schroeder?
not a thing. I wrote where's it at? I put some kid actor as the guest timekeeper, I guess. More
Yeah.
ring announcers, sports ball again, I guess. An actor I don't know is the referee. He looks like a cool guy.
Ricky Schroeder, apparently very famous American actor and filmmaker. He starred in movies such as The Champ, Lonesome Drive, Across the Talks, and he was in the show Silver Spoons that aired from 82 to 87.
And I've never seen a second of any of these.
I'm looking at through his stuff. Looks like the latest thing he did that maybe someone might have saw, Journey to the Center of the Earth.
Okay, well, that's a title that at least sounds familiar to me.
Oh, never mind. It is not the Brendan Fraser movie. It was the TV movie they had. It actually starred Ricky Schroeder. Uh,
Nice. Okay.
dude, we're gonna watch this together.
At some point, we have to
I th-
like watch and review something from every guest at WrestleMania.
oh, dude, that is genius.
That's gonna take longer than WrestleMania.
Yeah, because why does the main event match have to have 5 guest people in it? Uh,
Why do 3 of them need this? What was different because some child actor I didn't recognize was the guest timekeeper?
Exactly, yeah. And then the guest referee was Robert Conrad.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. The guy, he looks like he's cool.
Yeah, American film actor and singer. He starred in the Wild Wild West TV show,
Okay.
um, as well as the Wild Wild West movie with pretty sure it's Will Smith. You ever seen that?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I know what that movie is. I remember that movie existing. I may have even seen it. I don't remember anything about it though.
I think you probably did. 1999. I think you
Yeah,
probably
I
seen
remember it coming out, and
it. Mm.
and you know I remember hearing about it and seeing like commercials and stuff. And like I said, I may have watched it, but I don't remember a
Oh, I got
second
you
of it if I
something.
did.
Robert
What's up?
Conrad. He's in Jingle All the Way.
Oh, with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So you know this dude's rich.
Yeah.
But yeah, we need 30 million guests to help our main event go by smoothly and say,
Yeah,
oh,
because
you know
it's a
what?
cage match with Hulk Hogan at the second
Yeah.
WrestleMania. We got to make it as big as possible, I guess. So let's add these people.
But yep. So we have King Kong Bundy in the ring, and out comes, or also King Kong Bundy. I don't know if they dub over it. They just don't want you to hear it. No entrance music is all
No, no
at
music,
all.
no
Yep.
music.
No music.
No, he just
Just a
kind of walks out.
casual like I'm gonna walk and I'm just gonna kick your ass.
Oh yeah,
Um,
and he looked like he could, dude. He looked like a
100%,
bad
100%, yeah.
motherfucker.
And then we have
Hogan has the new belt. We have a new title belt.
I don't think I saw this one. What was the difference
It's
on it? What did it look like?
it just looks a little nicer. It's a little bigger.
Mm.
The belts actually kind of look like they're meant to be worn and shown off instead of like here's your random fucking prop you have while you walk to the thing. They don't look like little belts anymore. They look like something worth wearing, something you would almost want to market as a toy, you know?
Yeah. And then we have I'm the Real American.
Of course, we have to.
Three
I don't
times in a
even
row.
write real American plays anymore. It just goes without saying.
Are we in like his infamous like? Cause isn't Hulk Hogan top 5 in longest reign for WWE Championship?
Yeah, we're in that reign. This
We're
is
in that
still the
reign.
same title reign from the first Mania, and it'll be the
Yeah.
same title reign that goes into next Mania, and
I
he
can't wait to
won't
see
be
him lose.
champion.
I hate
He'll
to
lose
say it.
the. I don't know if we get to see him lose or not, but I
Okay.
don't know. I don't remember actually. It'll be interesting to see what
Well, the
happens there.
first
I don't
Mania
remember
that
what
we don't see him hold the championship belt, we'll put in the
will
clip
be.
of him losing.
Yeah, well that'll be 4.
4. Okay. I gotcha. But yeah, what'd you think about the match?
I didn't hate it. It wasn't like I have a certain expectation when it comes to Hulk Hogan, and I have a certain expectation when it comes to the Hulk Hogan matches I've seen doing this podcast with you.
Mm-hmm.
So my expectations are low, and my hopes aren't much higher than that. But I kind of really did enjoy this. I thought it was pretty simply a simple told story that kind of worked here. Like Bundy knows all he has to do is leave, so he keeps knocking Hogan down, then he keeps trying to leave. Hogan doesn't let him. There's a point where Hogan slaps his leg on a chop, and I feel like my life is a simulation. I think everything. I feel like that fucking leg slap chop was Mandela affected into this match,
Yeah.
just to fuck with me. Just to
You
fuck
think
with me.
so?
I think so, man. But there's dude. Bundy tears the Hogan's tape off of him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Elvira goes, "Oh, he's taking off more clothes. Oh, it's his belt." And she's like, "Wait, so he can just leave, right? Like that's all he has to do." Like they're trying to consistently explain the rules to Elvira.
Mansplaining. I know that.
Yeah,
I mean, literally, like
yeah.
she had
You
no
just don't
clues
get
going
it.
on.
God, why didn't he just leave? Because it's easy. Oh, it's not that simple. God, you just don't get it because you're
So
Elvira.
I was thinking they had these women there, and instead of like just saying like, "Hey, this is wrestling. This is what we do." I know you're starring in your TV show, so you probably don't have a lot of time to see what we're doing here, but this is normal, blah blah blah. I think they
Yeah.
actually put these women here to act like us, but people with power. So basically, what they're doing is like, oh, why aren't they doing that? Why aren't? Because that's what we're
Yeah.
saying on the couch as
Because
we're watching it.
if Elvira asks you why it's happening, you kind of have to answer her. If you or I ask that question, you just block us on Twitter.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm like, why the fuck did Hulk Hogan not just run around him? He's way faster than King Kong and just go out the door. But
uh, so hold on. I love uh, I love that after he throws him into the cage, like after he throws Bundy in the cage and Bundy starts bleeding, Hogan basically starts murdering King Kong Bundy and even begins choking him with a towel, and it almost looks like he's strangling him.
yeah. And he also does it with his strap on his shirt too, I think at one point. He's
Yeah,
trying to choke him with it. Um okay, so they do frame the match though where Hogan is basically the only one who's going to climb over it, and then
yeah.
King Kong's only way is getting through that door. But
Well, can you
every
imagine Bundy trying to climb that cage?
Yeah, I mean it's already bent enough and
Yeah,
everything. No offense to King Kong Bundy, great athlete, but
yeah.
the thing is, it's like every time he went for the door, he positioned himself where he doesn't look like he's gonna fit out the door very well.
That is a
He
pretty cool touch because realistically, he should have the energy to just walk straight out.
Yeah, but he kept like putting his head, and he would like angle his body where he's like in between the ropes, and it's just like,
Hmm.
will I ever make it out? And then Hogan always stops him, right before, because the crowd's like, oh my God, is Hogan about to lose? But he always gets up, or he always have enough
Hmm.
energy. One
Yeah, to
thing
at least
though,
go and pull his ankle or something to keep him from getting out.
yeah. The one thing though is we get to see a leg drop.
Yes, finally,
Yeah, took three
finally.
pay-per-views. We did see it. There was also one moment where uh, Hogan's trying to body slam Bundy, but of course they did a thing where Bundy weighs more, so Hogan's gonna fall on his back, and I'm gonna be a crossbody type thing on him.
Uh huh.
And then finally they do the other thing where Hogan Irish whips him into the ropes, and then finally he gets the body slam off, which I thought that was very cool. But it's all momentum, and you get to see it in like both perspectives. So
Was this before or after he hulks up out of the avalanche?
it was before the body slam.
Okay,
Hmm.
because I kind of popped for that. Like when he hits the body slam on, or not the avalanche in the corner, and Hogan just that's when he starts to Hulk up. Like he just no sell it and walks straight out of the corner with that Hulk Hogan, you're fucked now look. I thought that was awesome.
Hmm.
Like Hulk Hogan is Hulk Hogan. You know, the people can crap on his style or the way he wrestled in America or whatever, but the dude had a formula that worked. It was, he's the big strong guy, biggest arms or whatever. He's the showman. He punches the fuck out of him for a minute. Then he takes his beating and then he stops selling and he starts hulking up. And goddamn is on the avalanche in a cage on like the same move that's crushed your back and made you have to do heavy chins to prep for this hits that move on Hogan, and now there's the Hulk up. So even the move that has crippled Hulk Hogan to this point doesn't work anymore. That's pretty
Insanely
cool.
over. I mean, yeah, Hogan's
Yes,
insanely over right now.
yeah.
And
Hogan was great at what he did. Like people can
mhm,
shit on how he was politically or backstage or like if he was a creative nightmare to deal with. But when he was put in the spotlight to do stuff like this,
he
it
performed
worked,
every
and he
time.
made a fuck ton of money.
And
A
also,
fuck ton.
we got Bobby Heenan as well, just going around the ref, trying to hold the door open,
Yeah,
and the ref constantly saying like, "Get the fuck out of my way."
yeah, yeah, yeah. This one could have used a second ref, man.
Yeah, yeah. Why the fuck is there one ref for a steel cage match?
Well, yeah. Also, because there's a race at the end where Hogan's climbing up the cage while Bundy's climbing through the door. How the fuck is one ref gonna tell who gets out first?
And they mention that too. So whenever Hogan goes over, and then Bundy's going out the door after Hogan's already on the ground, they're like, I don't know if the ref saw Hogan hit his feet.
Imagine if a lesser ref, like if it was that shitty bad ref you were talking about before, he'd have just given the belt to Bundy because he wasn't watching Hogan climb the other side.
God, imagine. Oh, dude, this would have been story arc. Let's say they say Bundy wins the match. Then all
Oh
of a
my god.
sudden, we have Tito Santana, Justice Warrior, coming out here.
Yeah, and he's like,
And
"Man, you didn't watch the other side."
yes, look at this camera. Look at this camera. And it's like he hits the ground first. He's like, Hogan's my champion.
And then Ventura will be like, "Damn it, Chico!"
And also we had okay, so yeah, Hulk wins by climbing over. We also had Bobby Heenan over there. I thought he was gonna do more, but he wasn't really blocking him very well.
No.
uh, but yeah, it was pretty cool to see that. I wish they did have more emphasis on who touched first, kind of like that. I think there's that one Royal Rumble where it's like Batista and what John Cena both hit the ground or whatever.
Yeah.
Uh,
Would you believe that one wasn't planned? They just accidentally fell and landed it that way.
oh God, that's a nightmare.
Yeah.
And
What do
that's
you think? What do you
where
think would be harder? What do you think is harder, planning for you to both land at the same time, or accidentally stumbling where you both land at the same time?
accidentally. No, no, I think planning has to be harder.
Well, we're gonna get to see over the course of the years, we'll get to see examples of both. So
Yeah, it's also the infamous McMahon double
yeah, yeah,
quad,
double
right?
quad tear,
Crazy.
yeah.
A lot of McMahon's tearing quads. I think Shane did it 2 WrestleManias ago
He
too.
did it at last year's Mania. Yeah, so Snoop Dogg had to do the people's elbow for him.
Yep.
All right,
Um.
so anyway, this cage match.
Yeah. No. Hogan wins,
Yeah,
retains the WWF World Heavyweight Championship. Um. And
I'll
it's
say there was never any doubt, but they at least did a good job of making it look like Hogan was in peril, or at least had like something of a disadvantage until he didn't.
yeah. I mean, no, they let him get his ass kicked during it too. So
Yeah, you always know Hogan's gonna overcome.
yeah.
Hogan's not about to be left laying at a WrestleMania,
I mean,
but
he's a real American, so
also he's a real American, you know, and he's been fighting through this pain for 5.5 weeks. He thought about it all the way on that long ride in the metal box or what the fuck ever,
he was
you know,
lifting all
and
the weight he can to
dude,
be
he had to do
stronger.
heavy chins in preparation for this match. Do you know how hard
Mm,
a heavy chin is, bro?
I can't even fathom it.
It looks crazy. I
A
can't, I
a
can't
hundred a
imagine it.
hundred pound weights. I mean,
Yeah.
Jesus. But it was also funny after the match. We have Hulk Hogan chasing Bobby Heenan around the ring and finally
Yeah,
inside of
nice
it.
little touch.
Yeah.
Yeah, he kind of like gets Hogan, or he gets Heenan in the cage and throws him against the wall for the nice little babyface manager gets beat up moment.
Hmm.
Finally, a Mania ending that felt like a fucking Mania moment. I guess like I definitely thought this Mania was far and away better than the first one
Yeah. No, I agree. Well, let's think. So yeah, the WrestleMania one ended with
with the fart in church that was Hogan pinning Orndorff off of a cast miscue
mhm. And then we had the Wrestling Classic ending with JYD won by
by
wait did
count out.
a count out, yep.
Yeah, but Hogan kept his belt by DQ.
Oh yeah, true, 'cause Orton,
Yeah,
right? Yep.
yeah, something like that. Yeah. I feels like I watched the Wrestling Classic so long ago after watching 3 hours of WrestleMania 2.
But yeah, no, thank God he won it.
Yeah,
What was his name?
so
Tommy Lasorda? Was that his name? The announcer?
I brother, I don't remember.
Yeah, he announced. I think he was because he was the announcer for Los Angeles. Yeah, Tommy Lasorda. I wrote it down. Tommy Lasorda. Yeah,
All right.
yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
I know no one's gonna like. You're not gonna know who this is. There are people who will know. Yeah, it was. You're right, Tommy Lasorda. But one of the ring announcers for the Los Angeles show, Dagger Lee Marshall, was really cool. I heard his voice and I was like, is that Lee Marshall? And
Dude,
it definitely was.
I can't get
And
enough.
and I want to be sure that I'm correct before I say this, but I believe that Lee Marshall he was the voice of Tony the Tiger.
Get the fuck out of here, really?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Lee Marshall, he what I remember him from is they used to do these cool segments on WCW when Nitro was like kind of becoming the new Monday night show to watch and the NWO was hot and all that. He would do these things called Nitro parties where he would drive to the town that Nitro will be at next week and have some big viewing party with a bunch of people, and they would call into him and he would talk about the time they're having. He's like, we're gonna have a great time when you're over here at wherever the fuck I am right now, and the people over here, they're not so much really liking Hulk Hogan, and they got plenty of opinions on what's going on with the Four Horsemen. And this happens like every week, and it was just kind of cool to hear his voice here as the ring announcer for WrestleMania.
Do you know what it's like I think it's the 6 or 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon. Do you know what that is?
No.
It's like where every actor can be traced back to someone was in a movie with Kevin Bacon, basically. It's like if you say connect these two actors, you're like, okay, he was in a movie with this person, was this person, was this person,
And
blah blah
the
blah.
goal is to get them to a movie with Kevin Bacon.
No, the goal is to get them to a movie that like they starred in someone else with. But the whole premise is basically like Kevin Bacon has been in so many movies that you could trace it that he was in a movie with this person, who's in a movie with this person, and it's literally
Okay.
almost everybody who's in Hollywood. That's kind of
Okay.
like WWE, um, especially like with the Tony the Tiger
Yeah.
guy. It's kind of their 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon, where you have that interesting fact that Tony the Tiger, the guy who does his voice, was literally at a
Yeah,
WWE
yeah.
pay per view.
Well, he was like an actual like wrestling like announcer, commentator kind of
Mm,
thing, and he just also did commercials and stuff too. He's got a great voice.
yeah,
All right, man. How'd you feel about WrestleMania 2?
WrestleMania 2. All right,
Or do
I'm
you
gonna,
want me to give my King Kong Bundies first? It's up to
I'll
you. I
go
don't care.
first. I think you went
All right.
first last time, so I'll go
All
first.
right. I've
Um,
got a whole like little rundown and my little best things to give out and all that.
okay, I'm gonna be honest. This is the worst fucking pay per view I've ever seen in my life.
Really?
Yeah, I thought it was so bad. Definitely.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think I liked it at all.
You're gonna hate
Um,
my review then.
the reason why I think it's because of the bad mics, the 3 different shows. I feel like if we would have
Mm,
centralized everything and had different types of matches, but with more. I mean, you could do more people with a match. Like you can have the 20-man battle royale, you can have the tag team matches and everything. But I feel like if they would just combine venues and
mm-hmm.
used all their best people in one place, I mean, still they. I mean, they're still getting used to this being fucking WrestleMania, where you're trying to
Yeah.
put the best talent forward and you want to make the most amount of money and get the most fan engagement. And I get all that and everything. But yeah, no, I think this probably a top 5 worst WrestleMania of all time, more than likely. Uh,
Alright, well, here's one detail that will make you feel a little better about how they why they cram so many people into these WrestleMania cards.
yeah.
These make the biggest paydays, so everyone's getting
Oh,
in on it.
everyone's getting a lot.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, everyone's getting a nice little Mania payday out of it.
Okay.
Even Uncle Elmer
Yeah, I got you.
and the fucking assassin or whatever the fuck that was on the first show.
Um, and also, I know I mentioned earlier about the random female commentators. I mean, you can have them and everything, but I mean, I don't see a point though. It's
if they don't
okay
if they don't know what they're watching.
if they don't know what they're doing, and then it just adds on with like they're just trying to be quirky and funny and say what people say on the couch, like I mentioned earlier, just like how
Right,
we
right.
would act. But I mean, every one of them though made sure to have like well, not New York, but I feel like the other 2 venues were like, here's the color commentator guy, and then here's the other guy who's just gonna make funny jokes, or here's the heel Alfred Hay or the heel Jesse Ventura, and then we're gonna add the funny nice guy Alfred Hayes type shit. So
Yeah, so he can bully him all night.
yeah, and it's gonna make you laugh. So I mean, it made me laugh. Uh, so I thought that part was annoying. The annoying mics, the microphones at all 3 venues, the constant interrupting of you can't hear what's going on in the match because the mics are going, they're making the pop the I don't
Yeah.
know if my mic's picking it up, but just the popping noises it makes.
Mhm.
Mr. T and the Piper stuff. I mentioned earlier. I didn't. I mean, I know you liked the match, but I didn't really care for it. I thought it was funny. But
I
definitely
thought it
not.
was a good segment as like a match, no, but
Mhm. Yeah.
as a little segment in of itself, I thought it was pretty good.
And especially them saying that it's a 10 round boxing event and we don't even make it 3.5 rounds. Um,
Yeah, I
which
was more or less okay with that.
okay, I got you. But then we got, I mean, my match of the night. Um, I mean, okay, what's good about this? There's a
Some
lot
good
of
choices.
big name faces that you get to see for the first time, like the
Hmm.
Hearts. You got Jake the Snake,
Yeah,
um, George
Uncle
the
Elmer.
Animal, Uncle Elmer. Uh, what was it? Fabulous Adonis. What was his name? Adorable
No,
Adonis.
adorable Adrian Adonis. Yeah.
Um, and I don't want to say JYD and Tito just because JYD is my favorite, but I might have to. I really like the main event. It's our first time seeing something different
Okay.
besides a regular event. Like we're actually
Yeah,
seeing
we get a cage. Yeah,
a
I didn't even
steel
think about
cage
that. This is the
match.
first like big attraction match we've had.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go with that's why I'm gonna go with the Tito Santana and Junkyard Dog match. The reason
Okay.
why though, uh,
I don't disagree with you, man. I that was in consideration for me for sure.
the main event match, it's great. Definitely, I would say it's 1B where the Tito and JYD versus Funk Bros is one A. So yeah, but I think they're on par for both being the best. And I mean, they came at the last, so at the 2:30 mark and then the 3 hour mark, you get the best two matches or whatever. So uh, I mean, yeah, I mean, I thought Terry Funk was funny. I got to see Terry Funk versus my favorite wrestler in JYD, and they just fucking tore the house down. Especially with the double headbutts that you'd see in like a Looney Tunes cartoon. I thought was funny.
Yeah.
Um, Terry Funk just taking obscenely like weird ass bumps, and I mean, my favorite people lost, but that's okay. But yeah, I would say that's the match of the night. Performer of the night might have to go Ricky Steamboat, but I'm
Mm,
actually gonna go with Macho Man. Him
okay,
selling,
interesting.
being afraid of the animal the whole time was funny.
Okay,
Still
yeah, that was
being
that was
that
good.
that asshole heel, and also his atomic elbow drop or whatever he does. I just thought that
Yeah,
shit was perfect.
yeah, it's clean.
And then his crossbody, you said it from across the ring. I mean that as well.
Yeah, he
Uh,
soared across the ring.
Very interesting seeing NFL players in the over the top battle royale. I know they tried to do something a little bit a couple years ago with Gronk. I forgot who he was teamed with, but the guy who Gronk helped win the Andre the Giant battle
Oh,
royal,
Mojo Rawley.
Mojo Rawley. Yep. Which I could see Gronk in WWE. He is definitely that athletic
Yeah,
for it.
should have been in this battle royal.
Yeah, true. If it was today, I'd want him to be number one. Um,
I'm pretty sure he might have been in one of the Andre battle royals at some point. Who knows?
okay. Yeah.
Shaq was in one. They'll just let anyone kind of like some Saturday Night Live guys were in there at one point. They'll just kind of let them do whatever.
Jackass, weren't they in the Royal Rumble? Johnny Knoxville?
I'm sure they were. They were
Uh,
supposed to fight Umaga at SummerSlam once, and then like Umaga beat the living fuck out of him, and they were like, okay, so y'all hate us, we're gonna leave, right? Not knowing that Umaga was just fucking. Well, they weren't selling his stuff because they were laughing because it was jackass shit, and Umaga's like a fucking killer, so he started beating the actual fuck out of him.
oh my God.
Yeah, so they're like, all right, we're out, fuck this.
Randy, yeah, I'll go Randy as my person of the night. Worst performer,
Word,
just because
go.
I'm annoyed. It was oh no, I lost her name. Let me scroll. Hold
Velvet
up.
McIntyre.
Velvet McIntyre. Yeah, I
No,
just hated her face plant.
that's all she
Belly
did.
splash, whatever, and she's down for the count, whatever. Yeah, she was worst performer. But I mean, overall, like I said, I didn't like this at all.
How many
Um,
King Kong bunnies you giving it, bud?
I'm gonna give it 1.5 King Kong Bundys out of five.
You're not gonna believe my review of this.
Two takeaways though: the Andre
Okay.
Giant Battle Royale, Andre winning, sure, because why not?
But
That's
you
okay.
understand why he got a battle royal named after himself now.
Yeah. And then seeing the British, or no, not British, but the Hearts for the first time too. So both
Yeah,
those,
that was cool.
yeah. But yeah, that's my thoughts on it.
All right. Well, I gave this show 3.5 King Kong Bundys.
Oh damn.
Cause I thought this was fucking cool. Like I know there was some shitty stuff in here, and there's some duds of matches, but there's some cool stuff in here, and a lot of the segments had me fucking dying laughing, even if they weren't intended to. Like the boxing match was fucking hilarious from beginning to like the beginning. I was a little bored of it, but after we started going and I saw what Piper was doing, I was like, this is actually kind of fucking hilarious. And he starts throwing water and stools at him. Um, they brought out all the stars for this. Like everyone is here. But the wrestling is just what sticks out to me, man. I've said every show so far, when the wrestling's there, it's there. When the people that are known to be good wrestlers are on your screen, holy fuck, are they doing good wrestling? I so the three locations thing was a little weird, um, but good news, they're not gonna do it again. And sometimes is not only are they annoying because they're robbing you of actual finishes, but they clash with other finishes, and the inconsistency can get really annoying.
Yeah.
But I tried to not let that take away from like all of the good in this show, because there really was a lot to enjoy here. Like I thought the main event was a lot of fun. I thought it was pretty good. It got a 1.25 star rating, by the way.
Really?
Yeah. I also think I forgot to mention Adrian and Uncle Elmer got one, and then the Funks versus Tito and Junkyard Dog got 3.5.
Okay.
Um, but outside of like the crappy ending of Paul Orndorff and Morocco, and then the women's match in the Rosemont show, and then if you look past how quick Kirshner and Nikolai Volkov was, and just accept it for the cheap patriotic moment, it's really not too bad, especially with the fact it only took 2 minutes of your life. And Adrian Adonis being Adrian Adonis for 3 minutes, despite the fact he was with Uncle Elmer, wasn't that bad to me either. Best performer, I gave to Ricky Steamboat. Holy fuck, I just felt like he was on a completely different level on this show than everybody else. This dude realized what WrestleMania is before anyone else did, I guess, because he was on just another level. And I also think it's really cool that last show, for me, it was Randy Savage, and this show is Ricky Steamboat, and then we go into WrestleMania 3 next, where it's going to be really hard to pick between those two.
I
I think
mean,
that's
Ricky
pretty neat.
Steamboat literally beat a Greek god, Hercules Hernandez.
Yeah, that's true. Well, brother, Randy Savage beat an animal.
It's true.
But I but the cool thing about all these little best things I do is every one of these had plenty of options, and if I had chose Savage other than Steamboat, I don't think I'd have been wrong, because I wrote here honorable mention to Savage. Best match for me was Valentine and Beefcake, Dream Team versus the Bulldogs. Holy hell, that was a really good match. But
Mm.
honorable mention to me for the other tag match and Hercules Hernandez and Ricky Steamboat. I really enjoyed all of those matches. Um, but that tag match was just something different. Valentine just hits different to me. The Bulldogs were on fire. Their offense looked amazing. That finish had me fucking sick. And it was cool to see the good guys get a big win there. So, yeah,
Yeah, the
that's my match of
only
the
belt
night.
exchange on
Yes,
WrestleMania.
yes,
We've
yeah,
had two
for sure.
WrestleManias in a row, three pay-per-views in a row,
Yeah, and
in
only
2 years,
changes.
and only two title changes. Yeah.
And then for best overall segment, I went with the Savage and Steel match just because I love the story they tell here. Like Savage knows he's not going to be able to fight this motherfucker head on, so he's just going to keep getting distracted by Elizabeth until one of his attempts to catch him off guard works. I
Beauty
thought
and the
that was
Beast.
great. Yeah, and it exactly, and it made Steel look pretty like legit, at least as far as like a threat goes to his title, even though he's never going to get it from him. But it also, made Randy look like a smart heel, like he should. But honorable mention to me for the main event and the boxing match. But my best moment was Perry pulling Stud over the ropes. That got a massive reaction. And the only thing that I could come up with contention for that was I personally like lost my mind when the Avalanche hit Hogan and that caused the Hulk up in the other corner in the cage. Really big moment there. And best promo is just every one of the Hogan promos. Hogan didn't have a lot of competition as far as like best promos go on this show. You had maybe Piper doing a few that you could talk about, but Hogan was prime Hogan promos here, man. Like, do say the prayers, eat the vitamins, uh, you know, do all the Hulkamaniac shit. He did heavy chins, dude. You know how crazy a heavy chin is? That doctor had never seen anything like that before. But overall, I guess I like the show a lot better than you.
Yeah, you gave it what, three
I
and a half King Kong Bundys out of five?
Yeah, because I didn't want to quite give it 4, but I thought it was better than I enjoyed it better than Wrestling Classic and WrestleMania 1, and I'd given those like 2 and 3, so I felt like it had to be a little higher. And I'm sure my scaling will change over time as I become less enjoying of everything that I'm seeing. Like when I eventually get sick of the Macho Man feet on the ropes or a miss splash into a pin, when I get tired of seeing that, I guess they'll start going down. But I, for what it's worth, in this in this day, on whatever day in 2024 we're recording this, I really enjoyed watching WrestleMania 2, and I'm maybe that was because the anticipation of talking about it is helping me enjoy it, because even if it's bad, I get something cool to talk about, or I get some fun stuff to make fun of. So maybe that's kind of helping me like all of this a little bit better. But I enjoyed watching WrestleMania 2, and I'm really excited to watch 3. And I've really enjoyed reviewing and talking about WrestleMania 2. I thought there was a lot of cool stuff to talk about, good and bad, but all of it makes like good conversation at least. But that's my thoughts on WrestleMania 2.
God, you did it so well too. I mean, yours is so meticulous. I loved it. Uh, yeah, you still didn't persuade me though. But hey, no, I'm glad you loved this.
Hey, that's not the point,
How
It's
would
it's we're
you?
differing opinions.
So what? Okay, so I have to take back what I said earlier because I gave the wrestling classic a one King Kong Bundy. So this would be
I
one
bet you
and a
like the
half King Kong Bundys. So
okay.
so the wrestling classic is actually the worst pay per view I've ever seen. So far.
So, but taking out what you gave it, like knowing that you gave that a 1 and you gave this 1.5, if you like take that out of your mind and forget the grading scale, did you actually enjoy WrestleMania 2 more than Wrestling Classic?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
100%.
Was
Because of the big
anything on
name
WrestleMania
stars.
2 as entertaining as them trying to give away a car?
No, nothing was.
There's nothing quite in that vein yet, huh?
No. Once they figure out how to give away another Rolls Royce, that's when I'll be a happy person.
I mean, they're in the Pontiac Silverdome next year, so maybe there's a car.
Yeah, that's true. Um, um, so yeah, we are done with the WrestleMania 2. Um, Ooh, what a doozy that was. We enjoyed it and hated it at the same time. But next we'll be doing WrestleMania 3, just
Yeah,
like you mentioned,
I'm trying to find it to see
at the
how long
Pontiac
it is.
Silverdome. Uh, Attendance, though, the biggest one we've seen so far, 78,000 people.
Oh man, and if you ask Hulk Hogan every day, that number gets bigger and bigger.
Really?
Yeah, it's every time he'll just be like in front of 90,000 people at the Pontiac Silverdome, and then next promo like in front of 120,000 at the Pontiac Silverdome.
So WrestleMania 3 runtime, 3
Three
hours,
hours
5
and
minutes.
5 minutes, bro. And as you see, the only thing you need for the tagline of this is Hulk Hogan faces Andre the Giant, Ricky Steamboat and Randy Savage meet in an epic battle.
I'm
Um,
excited. I don't know who wins, so I'm really excited.
yeah, I won't spoil that for you, but bro, this is considered by a lot of people to be one of, if not the greatest match of all time. And I'm excited to see if that holds up. I'm excited to see what it looks like in comparison to modern wrestling, because I've of course watched the match a few times over the course of my
Which
life. But
match,
do I
Hogan versus Andre?
no, no.
Oh,
No, Steamboat Savage.
ah.
Steamboat Savage. when that match starts, bro, strap the fuck in. Um,
Okay.
but many people are say that that is like one of, if not the best matches of all time. And like I said, I'm excited to see how it looks compared to modern wrestling. I've watched it before, but it's been years. It's been a long time, and I've hit my head a good number of times, so I might not remember every single thing that's happening in that match. So I'll get to enjoy it all over again. In a way, because I don't think I've actually watched it since I got into wrestling, which was years ago. So in a way, it'll be like I'm watching it for the first time because it'll be the first time I get to watch it with these eyes, you know.
Hmm. Yeah, but we are done here with WrestleMania 2. Can't wait for WrestleMania 3. One venue, a new tagline, and yeah, we'll
Bigger,
be
better,
back
badder,
next
baby.
week.
Let's hope it's not actually badder.
True.